Simple. We've got our Tottenham back. That's I just feel that, we're seeing football that we used to see, and that's all we want. We want the players to give everything to play that attacking style of football, and we want the fans to have the connection with the players and the staff to have the connection with the players, and you feel it throughout the club. At the stadium, on non-match days, at the training centre, we're together again.
We're together again. Morning, good afternoon. I'm at the stage where this is hilarious. I can't even be sad. I can't even be upset about how shit this is. Half our fan base love this bloke. They want this bloke. They can't understand. I can't believe we're in a relegation battle. It's what happens when you give a shit manager this much time. He will kill your club. Good morning to you. Good afternoon. Good evening. Look, on a serious note, it is sad, isn't it? If we're going to be brutally serious about this, it's really sad. It's really, whether or not it's sad from a kind of teary perspective or just generally that we look at the club now and go, what are we? Like, what are we? I mean, the owners, absolutely dreadful, got no interest in footballing success. The manager, the worst manager I've ever seen at Tottenham Hotspur, bar none. The absolute worst manager I've ever seen. The director of football just seems completely incompetent. Now, the only benefit of hindsight, the only benefit of the doubt I'll give to him is that we don't know whether they've suggested better players and Levy and co have said, no, we just want youth. But the medical staff seem absolutely dreadful. The players have down tools. I mean, I keep hearing they're still playing for him. In what reality are they still playing for him? And like many of you, right? Like many of you, I woke up this morning. I actually had a lay-in today. I got up at 8. And I thought to myself, let's have a look. Let's see what's happening. And the first thing that I saw, was this. And when you just think to yourself, what's the point? What's the point? The Ange lot have won. They've got their manager. Sod it. This is what we're going to do now. Look, this is what we woke up to. Again, I don't know how true this is from Ali Gold, but Tottenham Hotspur FC are sticking with Ange Postecoglou amid the absurd injury crisis and are trying to sign at least one player this week. Right. Let's break this down. I'll show you again. Look, I'll show you again. All right, look. Let's break this down. Tottenham Hotspur aren't losing 8 games in 10 because of an absurd injury crisis. Tottenham are losing 8 games in 10 because we've got the worst manager in the country from all 4 divisions. He is the worst manager ever, right? Listen, injuries don't help, but other clubs are managing injuries. Other clubs adapt. Other clubs make themselves hard to beat. Be tight. Be tight. Do something, right? The fact that we're losing to Ipswich with a fully strength team, Palace with a fully strength team, tells you it's not just an injury crisis. It is the manager. I can't see it anymore. He is the worst manager in the country. Yes, Matt, he is the worst manager in the country. He is absolutely shambolic as a football manager. I've not been entertained for over a year. I keep hearing all the time that, well, you wanted attacking football. This isn't attacking football. This is absolutely turgid, rotten football. I think that fans have got a very short memory as to what attacking football looks like. Redknapp played attacking football. Poch played attacking football. This guy plays gung-ho, wide-open football. And look, the fact that if the club are going to stick with him, I mean, this has got to go down as one of their worst decisions in history. sticking with this manager. And I saw a graph today. Let me just I didn't send this to myself actually to put up here. Here we go. So Spurs managers, their last 7 games when they got sacked, right? Let this sink in. So this was the last 7 games before these managers got sacked and the number of points that that manager accumulated. So Antonio Conte accumulated 13 and was sacked. So he accumulated 13 from 21 and was sacked. Jose Mourinho accumulated 11 points from 21 and was sacked. Nuno accumulated 9 points. What's going on there? Nuno accumulated 9 points from 21 and was sacked. Poch accumulated 6 from 21 and was sacked. And Ange Postecoglou has accumulated 1. Ange Postecoglou has managed 1 point from 7 league games. Ange Postecoglou has seen 8 defeats from 10 Premier League games. Now, don't take my word for it. I'm not lying to you. I know people go, but Savva, these are your stats. Savva, you've cherry-picked these stats. Here we go. There we go. The form. Now, bearing in mind, this is only the last 10 games. This doesn't show you for the last 50 just how shit this manager is. This doesn't show you 50 games. This is purely our last 10, right? Lost. The win to Southampton, the worst Premier League team in history, factually. Not my opinion, factually, right? Factually, because I don't want people to say, oh, Savva manipulates stats. Lost, drew to Wolves, lost. So the 2 teams we've managed to pick up 4 points from out of the last 30 have been the bottom team and the team 18th. Everybody else has beaten Tottenham Hotspur. Now, even when you look at it, Ipswich above us have 1 more win than that. Leicester have 1 more win than that. Wolves in the bottom 3 have 1 more win than that. Man United, 2 more wins than that. It's got to stop. This rot has to stop. I don't know how anybody is still backing this manager. Surely even the biggest of Ange fans, surely the biggest of Ange fans, I know you don't want to admit you're wrong, but surely you get to the stage where you say, enough is enough, he's got to go. This isn't about right or wrong. Surely you get to the stage where you go, he is killing the football club. He is taking us down. Now, at the moment, I think we're safe because we're 8 points clear. But when you look at the run of games we've got coming up, I genuinely don't see where we're going to win Premier League games of football. If we have a look at our Premier League games of football, where are we? Premier League, here we go. So Tottenham Hotspur fixtures. We've got Brentford away. And if I'm not wrong, let me just double check this. Premier League form, home. Brentford have got the 3rd best home record in the league. So Liverpool have got 26 points. Arsenal 25, and then City, Brentford and Villa with 23. Tottenham are going to Brentford, right? One of the best teams in the country at home in our next game. So that's the next one. Brentford away. Let's have a look at the next one. Brentford away, followed by Man United at home. Have I missed someone there? No, I haven't. Man United at home, not a given. Ipswich away. Man City at home. Bournemouth at home. Fulham away. Chelsea away. Then we got Southampton at home, which is we will win. Then Wolves away. West Ham away. Liverpool away. Villa away. Like, guys, at what stage do we all have to turn around and say, this is not working? This is going to get us relegated. And let me just paint a picture of how bleak this is. We can all have a laugh and a joke, and the other fans will absolutely banter the life out of us if we go down. We'll come straight back up, blah, blah, blah. I'm seeing people say things like that. The club will be ripped from limb to limb if we go down. Most of the players will have to go because of the wage demands. 46 game season. The revenue, all the ticket prices would go down. The revenue coming into the football club wouldn't be able to sustain the stadium and the debts. This is bad. This is an absolute crisis. Don't be fooled because there's a few fans that just say things like, oh, back Ange, back them. This is a full-on crisis. Please do not get this twisted. This is a full-on crisis. Full-on crisis. Don't listen to people like this. Don't listen to people like this that have been wrong all season. This manager is taking us towards relegation. This has to stop. Don't listen to people like this. This is not where you should be listening. We need an injection of something. We need a manager to come in and breathe some fresh ideas, some fresh impetus into this football club. This manager has proved time and time and time again, he does not know what he is doing. He does not know what to do. Lumen, it would be the end of the football club for years. Matt, please, I'm going to ask nicely. Please go and watch a Pro Ange channel. Please, your comments are getting stupider and stupider. Stop, Matt. Just stop, or I will just ignore you from now on. Stop. This is ridiculous. I've asked you, come on and debate. You won't. You're just full of getting silly now. Will they? This is the thing. Will they if we go down? Will they sell the club if we go down? I've seen you before, Kai. Hope you're well. So, by the way, I'm not a fake fan. I'm a diehard. I want us to lose our next few games. Mate, I'm at the stage where it doesn't matter whether we want to or not. We're going to because this manager is so bad. And don't take my word for it. Look at what all the pundits and the pros are saying, right? I've just taken one example here. Brett, this channel's built on being a 40-year football fan that wants the best for my football club. I know people like you can't understand this. I've never seen my club this shit. So when you get it built on turning against Levy and Lewis and Ange, we need change. We need change, Brett. How you can't see that is baffling. What would you like me to do? And by the way, again, no, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you for the idiot you are. This channel is built on trying to turn against Levy, Lewis and Ange. This channel was around years before Ange even was at Tottenham Hotspur. So, again, such a stupid thing to say. Guys, again, don't listen to idiots like Brett. I know it's difficult. I know these people are not the most intelligent, but it's stupid. Lumen, at the moment, I agree. At the moment, I agree. But look at the games. I can't see where we're winning games. We are going to be looking over our shoulders and hoping that the likes of Wolves, Ipswich and Leicester lose every week. Who's going to come to Tottenham? I keep hearing we're not backing him. Who's coming to Tottenham in a relegation battle that's better than what we've got? Who's coming? I keep hearing this. I keep hearing, oh, the transfer window's open. What player of quality is coming to Tottenham right now? Surely they're going to go, nah, let me see what happens with this manager situation, this relegation situation. Who is coming that's better than what we've got? Dave, nothing. Apparently they're keeping him. Apparently we're going to back him. I genuinely don't know what to say anymore. What even baffles me more than anything, it isn't even the club. It's that we've got fans like the last two fans that I've read out their comments. Look at the state of these fans. Oh, we're just going to get better through doing what? The same thing. It's madness. Slynell. Well, Southampton had gone. Tell you what, should we do this? Let's do this. Right. The BBC now knows to open its table at the bottom for me because I'm a Spurs fan. Thank you, BBC. That's very nice. Have a look. Southampton are gone. Southampton are absolutely gone. It would take a miracle for Southampton to stay up. So now we're looking at Ipswich and Wolves because they're the two teams in the relegation zone. They're 8 points off Tottenham. So can they get 3 more wins than we do between now and the end of the season? It's that simple. That's the question. That's the only question. For them to finish above us, they need 3 more wins than we get. Here is the question to you. Will they? Will they? Will they get 3 more? I don't think so. I don't think so. What do you guys think? I don't think they will. Now, it's not impossible, but I don't think they will. I don't think, because what you're reckoning there is that both those two clubs, what we're saying is there that both Wolves and Ipswich both get 3 more wins than what Spurs do. Now, if that happens, Ange will have to go down as the worst manager that's ever managed a football club in any nation. But I don't see that happening. Let me know in the chat, though. Do you guys see it happening? Do you guys see it happening? I don't know. I mean, let's have a look, shall we? Should we have a look at, let's look at Wolves. Let's look at Wolves, shall we? Wolverhampton Wanderers. Okay. So let's go teams. Wolves, don't worry, you can't see what I'm doing, by the way. You're not meant to be seeing what I'm doing. Wolverhampton Wanderers, scores and fixtures. Okay. Wolves fixtures. Okay. February. So this is Wolves' next games in February. They've got Villa at home, Liverpool away, Bournemouth away, Fulham at home. Now, just in February, I don't see where they're getting many points from. I don't think they'll beat Villa at home. I don't think they'll beat Liverpool away. I don't think they'll beat Bournemouth away, and they'll possibly beat Fulham. Right? That's their next 4 games. I can't see them winning. Right? Now, if we look at Ipswich Town. So their next games in February are Southampton at home. I expect them to win that. Villa away. I don't expect them to get anything. Then the big one, Ipswich versus Tottenham. Then Man United away. So from looking at those games, do we think that in the short term, before we get to March and April, do we think that those clubs can get enough wins to get them where we are? Don't you think? Matt, who do you think signing for a relegation battle that's better than what we've got? Answers on a postcard. Who is signing for Tottenham with the utter shit shambles we're in? I see today Tottenham are going to back him with one signing. What do we think that one signing's going to do? What do we think that one signing is going to do? How big do we think that one signing is going to be? Look at the table, and these fans don't get it. These fans don't get it. Look at this table. We are 9 points off the top half with 15 games to go. Everton have a game in hand and could go above us. We would be 16th in the Premier League table. Let's show you a few more things, shall we? Before we do, big up to Amari with a super sticker. Thank you very much. Really, really appreciate that. Big up to you, Amari. I think I'm better in smaller screen, right? People, let me know between that and this. I think that's just a bit too intrusive for everybody. No one needs to see my nose. Big up, Amari. Thank you very much. Rinketic, thank you. I said some Spurs fans don't make sense. They want good football but want Ange or Terzic. Look, I think we've got to get past this good football at the moment. We need to stabilise. We need to stabilise. The club needs stabilisation, and we've not got it at the moment. Thank you very much. A user said, Savva, looks like Ange ain't going anywhere anytime soon. Look, agreed. And unfortunately, if we do spiral towards the bottom of the table, who have we got to blame? Ourselves, right? Because most clubs now sack their manager, bring someone in for a new manager bounce, not Tottenham. Again, so as I said, with Wolves, look at the games Wolves have got coming up in the next 4. Villa, Liverpool. Yeah, Man United. I don't see where their points are coming from. Andy, this is the big question. So this is the big question. So again, everyone's got to be really clear on what I said there, right? We are 3 wins ahead of these teams. So whatever we do, if we win 2 more, we're 5 wins ahead. They need to win 5 games minimum. That's the point, right? Is can we see? And again, I'll bring this up. Can we see Wolves and Ipswich, who haven't won 5 games in the first 23? Can we see them winning another 5 in the last 15? Now, it's not impossible. It's not impossible, but I don't see it. I reckon we'll scrape and stay up. No, Ange is as culpable as they are. I don't understand how people right. I can't. People like Reezy and Matt, please go to another. It's just got silly. It's got so silly, right? We're still backing the worst manager ever. We've still got massive YouTube channels saying it's not Ange. It's like what? But when we say easily, where people say these throwaway lines, where are they getting those wins from? As I said, right? If we look at Wolves, let's look at Wolves. I mean, Wolves' next 4 fixtures. Come on, guys. Wolves' next 4 fixtures. Right, Aston Villa, possibly a point, maybe. Liverpool away, nope. Bournemouth away, nope. Fulham at home, possibly. Then we go into March. Everton is the 6-pointer for them at Wolves. Southampton away, yes. I can see them getting 3 or 4 wins, but it means we only need to get 1 or 2 more points. Listen, I don't think we'll go down. I don't. But what I do know is this is far too close for a club of our stature, right? And for the level of players we've got. Now, let's have a look. Here's another point. Really, really well made. Don Hutchinson got this bang on. He said the fullbacks will be high up the pitch when they don't even have comfortable possession. Thank you, Don Hutchinson. Thank you for realising how bad it is. Thank you. The goals that Tottenham give away, this is on the manager. It has to be. I absolutely get the injuries. I'm not naive, but they make the same mistakes all the time. It is so obvious to anybody that understands football how bad this manager's tactics are. And we're still sitting here going, oh, it's not the tactics. Yes, it is. Right now on Sky Sports, right now, they are picking apart our tactics behind our fullbacks. Right now, they're doing it. Turn on Sky Sports. Turn on Sky Sports and see it. We are wide open at the back. We're wide open in the middle. It is terrible. Agreed, Keith. Agreed. We do. We look like a team that's beaten before it's crossed the white line. Why is the manager not getting them up for these battles? And you know what I heard yesterday? Which I thought was an absolute brilliant point. It said, yesterday was 2 teams in a relegation battle, but only one of them seemed to realise it. Absolutely right. Oh, I don't want that. Absolutely. Spurs, no fight, no tactical nous, awful substitutions. And Saturday yesterday, I don't know if you guys saw this. Did you guys see this? He's doing that on the sidelines. And I'm like, Ange, what's going on here? Ash, you are probably the most spot on of every comment I've seen. Absolutely. This is probably why he's still here. I do like the Huels. This is spot on. Ash, absolutely spot on, brother. Hope you're well. I mean, again, it's another throwaway comment. We should just go all out for Europa. But what does that mean? We're shit. What does this mean? Do you think those teams in the Europa League at the top are looking at us and going, cool, Tottenham over 2 legs? Or do you think they're going, yeah, Tottenham are shit. They can't win games of football. Do we truly, truly believe that we're good enough to win the Europa League? Philip said, Savva, I can't see us winning another game. Mate, listen, I hope, Philip, I hope I'm right about the relegation situation. If I'm wrong, we are an utter embarrassment. If I'm wrong and we get relegated, what are we? I haven't blocked anyone, Chris. Stop saying this. I haven't blocked anyone. Stop. Again, Chris, Matt, these people are all the same. They're all the same. They don't understand Tottenham, right? They come in and they just say things like, oh, Ange will turn it around. You've been wrong. Just admit you've been wrong. This is my message to all the other YouTube channels. Just admit you've been wrong about this shit manager. That's all you've got to do. Yeah? Join the team. Join the side where we're going, hang on, we need change. Not, I'm going to back this. I'm going to double down on this manager. I keep seeing videos blaming fans like me for Ange's performance. What are we on about? My YouTube channel's got nothing to do with it. Absolutely, Rav. Absolutely. Absolutely, we need stability. Sorry, absolutely. We no other big club would be in this situation. No other big club would let their team go through that 10-game run and not sack their manager. No one. The owners and the fans have sat here and watched us plummet from, we're only 3 points off top 4. Do you remember that? We're 3 points off top 4. We're 4 points off it. We're only 7 points off it. Oh, we're only 10 points. It's only 4 games. To now, when you look at this Premier League table, should we have a look at the top half of the table, guys and girls? I know it's depressing. Now we are 17 points. 17 points off the top 4 and 16 points off a European place. It is a shit show. It is an utter shambolic shit show. And still, people can't, what's going on there? Still, people can't turn around and go, yeah, this got to change. Carlos, I don't care if we nick a trophy. Nicking a trophy this season means nothing to me when I see how shit we are. It doesn't mean anything to me. Are there people that truly think if we finish 15th or 16th that it's all good because we nicked a Carabao Cup? Not me, man. Not me. I've got some standards. I don't know about you lot. I've got some standards. We're an utter embarrassment. We're an utter embarrassment. Rav, I agree. Rav, I agree with you. I agree, Seed to the Wolf. But again, he said, I played Saar when he's half injured. Why not put Archie Gray in there and put Reggie at left back? The guy's got no clue. The guy's got no clue. He's like the cult of Ange. People like Chris, they've even got a clue. They've got no clue about Tottenham, about football. He's much worse than Christian Gross. It's much worse than Christian Gross. Mr. AJ, I agree, mate. I genuinely do not understand it. And Mr. AJ, let's look at some more things, shall we? So we saw this, didn't we? Look at that. We saw this utter shit show. And that's only 10 games, not 50. All right? Let's have a look at this. Tottenham still haven't got as many points this season as we did in the first 10 games of last season. Let that sink in. In 23 games, we haven't achieved the same amount of points as 10. For anyone that didn't get to read that, there you go. We haven't got the same amount of points as we did in 10, and we've played more than double the games. More than double the games. One second, sorry. So 23 games, we can't amass the same points as 10 games last year, but we're saying there's no problem with the manager. Who'd like to see another one? Who'd like to see something else? Chris, let's have a look then, shall we? Let's have a look at how Ange has tweaked his tactics. Let's have a look, shall we? This was Arsenal. This was Arsenal. Sorry. Excuse me while I die. This was Arsenal. Yeah, he's tweaked his tactics, mate. Yeah. Look, you get caught on the halfway line. Look at us. Yeah, he's tweaked his tactics. Yep. This was yesterday. What is it? Sorry, this one. They nick the ball there. Look at the line. There's no defensive line. Look how high up the fullbacks are, right? I'll bring Calf in. But look at this defensive line. People that pretend we've changed tactics. Look at this. Right, they've nicked the ball there, and then one ball. Look, he's taken out the entire right-hand side of our pitch. And you know what? They scored from this. They scored from this. And if you don't like that one, Chris, let's have a look at this one. Leicester City. Oh, Ben, I've got a real... Hang on 1 second. Let me just talk. Ben, I've got a real bad buzzing coming from your speaker at the moment. Hello? Actually, it's gone. We're good. We're gone. Look at this, Chris. He's adapted. Look in the middle of the park. First of all, look at the back four line. It is shambolic. Archie Gray is in midfield on the left-hand side. Papa Sarr, look at him, legging it back. Right? We have no midfield, and this guy next to the ref is about to get the ball. And when he does, you can unmute yourself, Ben. It's all right. You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I'm just worried. I don't want to ruin your streams.
No, hang on. There is a buzz. I don't know what it is, but we'll go on anyway.
Let me change them. Let me change it around.
Yep. So, Chris, they win the ball there. We've got no fullbacks anywhere to be seen. No midfielders anywhere to be seen. This guy gets the ball in acres of space. Everyone's tracking back. And then from there, he just runs through and buries the ball into the bottom corner. Yeah, Ange has tweaked. Ange has tweaked. Ange has adapted. Ange has tweaked. Oh, Ben, something is awful your end, mate.
Oh, I don't know what it is.
Can you log out and come back in, maybe?
Will do.
Cheers, bro. And there's Dan. Let's bring in Dan. How you doing, Dan?
It's the same Spurs, different day, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is.
I think
we wouldn't have it any other way, would we?
Oh, of course not. I think a few of us need to watch out. I think relegation is a serious note we got to take here. I take in what you say about the others have got to get points as well. But I think they will get points. Scrimp and scrape a draw, scrimp and scrape a win. I don't see us I don't see where we're meant to get any points from at the moment. When the only team we've managed to get points from is Southampton. I think we are in that much of a fall. If we do not seriously watch it, if this manager does not go and we do not get someone in who can at least sort out a defence, we are in serious trouble.
No, mate, I don't disagree with you. I suppose I look at it from the point of view of if we can shithouse a win from somewhere, if we can shithouse a win away at Brentford, I'm not saying we will, by the way, I'm just hypotheticals, Dan. If we can shithouse a win from somewhere, those teams below us then need 5 wins between now and the end of the season. And I guess the question is, have they got 5 wins in them? Because that would be more than what they've done in the first 23 games of the season. Now, it's not impossible, but I think we've got enough. I think we've got a win against Southampton at home. We should win. I think we'll nick another win or 2 along the way. I do think we'll get 3 wins between now and the end of the season, which means those other teams need to win 7.
Yeah.
And I can't see that they're going to win 7 of their last 15 games. But Ben, what do you think?
Firstly, is the buzz there?
I think it might be my end. If you
Ask
talk,
them.
I'll mute myself and see what's happening.
I looked at the stream.
I
I
can't
looked
hear
at
no.
the stream and there was no buzz. So I don't
As
know.
long as there isn't buzz for them, I'll have to.
Yeah,
I'll have to deal with it my end, and
I don't know what I don't know what it
I'll be a
is.
trooper.
Dan can't hear buzz, so I don't know
Cool.
what it is.
Crack on, mate. Crack on.
I'm bored with Tottenham fans. I sat next to these. One of the guys is always there. He's got a season ticket. He's bought the season ticket. But it's got to the point now where Tottenham fans think they're at the theatre. I was told at a football game not to swear yesterday. At a football game. Unbelievable. I looked at that tactical display yesterday. And whenever Leicester had the ball, it was so easy. Every time a Leicester player received the ball, acres of space. Literal acres, like 4, 5, 6 players worth of space. And it's only one thing. And now people have said, someone said it on Twitter. How are we supposed to pass the ball to each other? The moment we get the ball, all our fullbacks are up front. There's no space because the basic fundamentals of football.
Like this, Ben. Look at both fullbacks here. Neither of them are actually in defence.
Yep.
And look, if you actually look at Sarr, who's meant to be one of our number 8s. Bearing in mind, we weren't even attacking here.
He's
we were in
front.
our own half, gave the ball away, and look at the guy who scored the goal next to the ref there, guys. Look at him. He has got the freedom of White Hart Lane to turn like that. Look at the freedom he's got. Bergvall tracking back, Sarr tracking back.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, these tactics.
Yeah. It's so bad, Savva. Like, this is a cheap plug for me. Even I was quoted on the BBC last night. That's how bad it is. It's shocking. It's unbelievable how bad this manager is. And two things can be true. The ownership can be awful, but my God, is this manager diabolical?
I mean,
he comes out after the game and says Sarr wasn't fit. Why the fuck did you play him then?
Let me ask you both. Isn't this the worry as well, right? Is that when we're all sitting there going, oh, injuries, he hasn't got any options. Well, if Sarr's not fit, stick Archie Gray or Basuma's on the bench. If not, stick Archie Gray in central midfield. Put Reggie to left back, who, funnily enough, is a better left back than Archie Gray because, funnily enough, he's a bloody left back.
I thought Reggie was okay when he came on as well. I thought it was okay. I thought it was okay.
So, Dan, don't you think, like, when we're talking about, yes, we've got injuries, yes, but this manager's doing nothing to help himself because on Thursday night, we've got Elfsborg. Archie Gray, sorry, not Archie Gray, Serge Reguilon can't play. So surely he plays 90 minutes yesterday against the worst form team in the country, Leicester. Nope.
Look, with the common sense side of it, I know we were the first amongst a lot of others to say Reguilon's got to go. A lot of people question Spence as well, because if 3 players didn't want to play, managers didn't want to play him, why would someone else? But then you've got to look on it, in my opinion, from a logical side. As a manager, right, you're in serious trouble. Some of your players are burnt out. And if you don't watch it, you're going to start getting serious injuries, especially the way you play, the amount of running and sprinting it takes in it. And it's obvious what you would have known of yourself, kept tackling up Celtic and everything. Then use what you got. Play with the cards you got. You might not like them. Yesterday, why was Archie Gray in left back? Why? Stick Reguilon in there. He's a left back. I mean, this is something I said yesterday, and people think I'm still having a dig at Archie Gray. No, I am not. The point is, there's been many a time we could stick Spence on the right. No, Archie Gray goes on now. Other times we could have stuck Davis or someone in the middle. No, Archie Gray goes there. We stick him. He's not even fit for any of those positions. He's a midfielder. And if midfielder is going that bad, stick Reguilon there on day one. Davis in the middle, whether you like him or not, I get it. Stick Gray in the bloody middle. Because Papa Sarr ain't doing nothing, is he?
It's because he's
You
weak
know,
as
he's
he
had-
can.
he's
He's
had
using Archie Gray as the
chances.
fall guy. He's because a lot of the Ange fanboys, as we're calling them, the Ange fanboys, the first thing they do is they blame the players. They don't blame the awful tactics. They don't blame the awful style of play. They don't blame the lack of organisation and the lack of coaching. They blame the players. So he's hoping that everyone blames Archie Gray for not being able to play a position he can't do.
And it's
But
not
the
his
problem
fault.
is, Archie Gray has actually been very admirable as an 18-year-old playing completely out of position.
Yeah.
And that is ending Ange's career because Archie Gray is doing what he can with like what you said. He's doing what he can with the cards he's been dealt with. He's playing right back, so he's playing his heart out in the position he's been put in.
Guys, can I listen? First of all, like Chris, I'm gonna move you on from my show in a minute, right? Because you're being a complete prick, and if we're gonna be honest, I don't care. It's my show. I can say what I want.
Yeah.
Right. First of all, you're being a prick. Go on, show us one picture. I'm about to show you about 8, right? And you'll still have something smart to say. This is my problem, right? No one heard me say trophies don't mean anything. Listen to the words I'm saying, you absolute imbecile, right? My point is, yeah, go and win the Carabao Cup. But that doesn't take away from the fact that we are in a relegation battle and this is the worst manager I've seen. Yeah, win the cup. We can celebrate it for the day. It gets us back into Europe. But please, please don't ever lie. You've turned around here and said, but no, I want to finish 4th. You've never heard me say that. Right? And with the whole wah thing at the end, grow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Grow up, Chris. You're a fucking imbecile. I'll tell you what, come on right now. I've lost my, sorry guys, I know you're going to tell me off this afterwards. I've lost my rag with fucking pricks like this. I've truly lost my rag with people like this, right?
Yeah.
Win a cup, great. But do we truly believe if we win a cup that covers over this manager's absolute, his, I don't know, just this inept nature of his to be able to coach a football team? Chris,
what's funny about this, Savva? What's funny about this? I bet people like Chris, when we were in a title race, would say, I don't want to win the FA Cup. I don't want to win it. I want to win the league. Or
Mate,
I don't want to be Wigan and get relegated but win an FA Cup.
But hang on. By the way, Yerim, Savva, you wouldn't keep Ange? No, because do you know what? There is more to it than just a Carabao Cup. Yes, we need to win a trophy. But one day Ramos won us a trophy and then was sacked because he was crap in the league. Let me show you. One picture, says that idiot Chris. One picture. And I apologise to my viewers for getting angry and saying hurty words. I don't apologise to Chris because he's in here doing this all the time. Look at this. One picture. Look at this. One picture. One picture. Right? Ready? One picture. One picture. Ready? I've got more. One picture. What are we doing here? Every game from Tottenham Hotspur, Chris, you can picture the horrible, horrible tactics that this manager's got. And I am fed up of idiots like you that are you make our fan base a joke. You make our fan base a joke. Please go back and support whoever you did 2 years. I can't stand it. Guys, I'm going to pass to one of you because I'm getting frustrated.
Look, sometimes I get the point where you want to stand by your manager. You want to stand by the situation, whether it's life, whether it's football, whether it's whatever. You want to stand by it. I get it. And you'll fight tooth and nail for it. Fair play. But as far as I'm concerned, sometimes it takes more of a man to put his hands up and step back and just say, I got it wrong.
Yeah.
I've had to do it on here. I've had to put my hands up and say, do you know what? Fair play. I'll go with your opinion on that one, or the facts come down. I got that one wrong. Sometimes you just got to be more of a man to admit that you got it wrong. And a lot of people got it wrong with this one. And it's not that you want to throw it in people's faces and brag it off. Well, we're right. You're wrong, this and that. No, we all wanted to be wrong, but we're right. We all wanted to be wrong about this. We all wanted Ange to succeed. We all wanted Werner to score 20 goals. We all wanted Archie Gray to play 30 goals in the middle. And the list goes on and on and on. We all wanted Solanke to score 30 goals. But we just know it's not going to happen. With this manager, okay, again, start of the season, give him a couple of games. Let's see if he's really adapted. He changes in his second season. Within the first 5 games, it was obvious. Again, nothing has changed.
Yeah.
We have gone further down and down and down and down till we are nearly at the bottom. Bar those first 10 games of last season, which saved last season's arse, we have been nothing. Game here, game there. Good result here, good result there. Beating Man City, great. Beating Arsenal. Beating Man U at Old Trafford. No matter how crap Man U are, winning at Old Trafford is a good result for me. But then when we go and lose the next 2-3 games to Leicester, Ipswich, Palace, whatever, to me it makes those games irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they'll count at the end of the season as 3 points, but I think some people just need to accept, yeah, he ain't the man for the job. He's got to go.
Oh, you're totally right, Dan. It's hollow. It's a hollow win, and it makes it an anomaly. If you win one game and then lose the next 4, it's an anomaly. I wouldn't call it luck, but it's along those lines. It's an anomaly. Because if we can beat Man United, it was shocking. And by the way, Man United are 12th now. So Spurs fans were saying, "Oh, Man United, they're in a relegation battle." Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, they're 5 points clear of us.
5 points clear of us, and they're
And
going.
I think at one point we
they're
were 6
going like
points
that
clear
now,
of
aren't
them.
they? They're plateauing a bit, but they're going.
Yeah.
They're going
picking up points. They're picking up points.
Whereas we're going. David Moyes. I was slaughtered, and I'll call out the fan base as well. I'm going to call out the fan base. I was slaughtered, beyond slaughtered, when I suggested that Graham Potter would be a better manager for Tottenham Hotspur now than Ange Postecoglou was.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They almost won yesterday. Couple of yards, they've won that game, and they're already 3 points ahead of us. They're getting points now. They're getting points. They're West Ham. They've not been great this season. They're not a brilliant team. They're picking up 1 point here, 3 points there. They're getting there. And they're slowly starting to. We're getting worse and worse and worse.
They're not seeing it, Ben.
No.
Like, it's like we're watching a different. It's like we're watching a different program to everybody else. You know, like I would get it if we were still like, if in the last 10 we've lost 8, drawn 1, and won 1, right? Or let's take it back. Do you remember? So I had videos made about me after Spurs bat Man City, right? And the funny thing is, that was 12 Premier League games ago, right? Since then, we've beaten Southampton and no one else, right?
Yeah.
Karma. Again, karma on these fans that get so carried away every time we win one game. Look at, we beat Hoffenheim, and all these likes of Chris and Matt are going, let's continue the winning run. What, the winning run of one? Against Hoffenheim?
By the skin of our teeth as well.
Exactly, Dan. Like,
look,
I get that we've all got different opinions, but at what point do we all look and go, oh, God, this is awful? I thought it would be when we went bottom half, Dan. Apparently, that's not enough. Now we're 9 points off the top half and 8 points off the bottom 3. And still people are going, like I'm seeing, he deserves the chance to see out of the semi-final and the rest of the season. Why?
I was one of the ones who sat here and said, do you know what? If we finish 15th and we win a cup game, I'll be happy, yeah? I'll go back on myself here. It was more of a figure of speech because I didn't actually look at us being 15 and, winning a cup. It was more of a figure of speech. So in that aspect, I'll have to put my hands up. The problem I've got.
Hang on, Dan, just quickly, before you go on. Was it a figure of speech because in the back of your mind, you thought, that's never going to act like, we're never going to be 15th, right? So it's an easy thing to say.
That.
Right, yeah.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So I'll have to flip-flop on that one. Whatever way people want to take it, I don't mind to that one. But
it started
if we even go and win a cup, and the reason I'd still sack him if we say finish 15th, 16th, whatever, is because next season it's only going to get worse. He won't change. What player is going to want to come to Spurs? Now, I'm the first one to say, put the money down. You can get a player, whatever position you're in. But we won't put the money down. Not the wages, not where it really matters. So we won't get anyone who improves. We'll probably get another couple of kids and people will say it's the best thing since sliced bloody bread. And we'll end up going nowhere fast, and we'll end up going down the table even further, and we'll have more people back him up, but he got us a cup, and the system just goes on and on and on. And I don't want to be in that system. Yeah, I want Spurs to win a cup. I don't want no relegation shit. I don't want no relegation
fight, Dan. The cup's got to be a springboard.
I don't want no relegation fight. And I can honestly see it. If he don't get us relegated this year and he won a cup, it could definitely happen next year because he's not going to change. He's not going to adapt. He's lost that dressing room now completely, I think.
Oh, God.
I was questioning it for a while where I think he'd lost half of it. I personally think he's lost it now completely because none of those players look like... It's not that they don't know his system yet. And he's had nearly 19 months to do it. But it's also starting to look like they don't care about his system and they're not even trying to do it. They've just had enough. Get him out. This man has got to go. Like it or lump it. He has got to go.
I was speaking with the guy that drives the van next door, Gary. And the first thing he said to me, is it true that 2 medical directors have left Spurs since Ange arrived? And said, yes, 2 medical directors. The head of sports science has left, and the head of the fitness team, which is why they're looking. I said, yeah, sack him then. Because we've had a medical director for 24 years that worked under both Conte and Pochettino, 2 of the most hard-hitting, most physical managers you've ever seen. They didn't have a falling out together. Why is he falling out with Ange? Because Ange doesn't care about players' well-beings. He doesn't care about their fitness. He said it yesterday. He deliberately played Pape Sarr, who he knew was unfit to play. Richarlison, because Johnny said Richarlison was about 35% fit for the game. He still played him for half a game. He doesn't care about fitness. He does not care about the player's well-being.
He doesn't even care about the result, Ben.
Yeah.
Ben, he doesn't care about the result. When he takes off Richarlison, he doesn't even put on the striker that's on the bench. When we need a goal at home to a team in the relegation zone, he then doesn't even say, right, 20 minutes to go, let's get Lancashire on. 10 minutes to go, let's get Lancashire on.
3 minutes.
He brought him on in the 94th minute of 97, right? 94th minute. Now, I'm not going to sit here, guys, and say, Will Lancashire, let's all praise him. He's the greatest striker. He's a striker. He's on the bench. He's through our youth academy.
Give it a go.
Give him 20 minutes. And you know what? Say to them, stop all this tippy-tappy bollocks in midfield. Let's get that ball up there. Get that ball up there to Lancashire, to Son, to Moore, to Kulu. But what we do is we bring on Moore, and everyone goes, oh, Mikey Moore's brilliant. We're bringing on a young kid in an environment which is no good. Like, again, I keep hearing, oh, this will be really good for Archie Gray playing all these different positions.
No, it's
not in this environment. Not in this shit show of a tactic, it's not. I mean, this is where I feel sorry for him. If this is what he's being told to do, where's that picture? If this is what he's being told to do, look at him there. You can see him on the far side, right?
Yeah.
If you're trying to coach and nurture a young player and go, okay, listen, you're going to play left back today. I haven't got other left backs. All I want you to do is sit in. No, he's being told, when we've got the ball, I want you as hard the pitch. And already there, look how he is facing and turning his own goal. Look at all of this is the basics, guys, of coaching, right? You look how many of them Spurs players are now facing our own goal because of how we're set up. You look at it. Only Porro, who's on the half turn, Dragosine and Davis are facing the football. Everybody else is not in the right body position or not in the right position on the pitch where they should be, right? And again, if I take it back to this, again, look at this. Look at Spence on the left-hand side. Now, listen, guys, let me make this really clear. I am not absolving Basuma blame for losing the ball in midfield. I'm not, right? But there's no way that if a midfielder loses the ball on the halfway line, that everybody else, his other midfielder partner, the two fullbacks, should all be in the opposition half, that high up. So now Spencer's got no chance of getting back in there. Pedro Porro is miles away from it. Look at Pedro Porro. He is miles away from it. And you've now left Papa Sarr is the one going to have to come back and try and do the covering. Basuma's going to have to come back and cover, right? Archie Gray and Dragosine. Look at them as a centre-back partnership. As a centre-back partnership, those two, you could drive a bus through that.
Yeah.
You should never be that far apart. So this is where when these people are telling me when the players come back fit, these are the tactics, guys.
I'm not absolving Basuma with blame here, as you just said. But if you're a midfielder and you've got the ball there, who are you going to pass to if everyone else is so up front that the other team has gone in front of them? How are you supposed to... The only way you're going to be at... not even Glenn Hoddle could do anything there. Not even Glenn Hoddle, one of the best passers of the ball you've ever seen play for Tottenham. If he bring that picture up again, Savva, bring that picture up again where Basuma loses the ball, loses the ball against the Arsenal.
Yeah.
Bring that picture up. Who's he going to pass to?
Yeah.
Because Spencer's got a player in front of him. Porro, there's about 4 players in the way. Who's he going to be able to pass to? You build triangles. You build triangles and you get up the pitch gradually. This isn't football. This is a vanity project.
The other thing is...
How's Basuma going to get a completed pass? Who's he going to pass to? You need a heat-seeking missile to be able to pass to someone. You've got to be able to pass the ball like that.
It's madness.
You're right. The other thing is that people keep bringing up, and it's not one I want to go into, but I'm going to bring it up. You just get sick to death of hearing the phrase Harry Kane. And it's one that I do still hear a lot of, yeah?
Coach.
Yeah. I don't care if we've got Harry Kane. We're still going to be in the same situation. Yeah, a few more goals, I reckon. But
I'm actually going to disagree with you on one point, Dan. I'm going to disagree with you.
We still have the situation at the back. I really don't think it'd make much of a difference if we had Harry Kane.
Where would Harry Kane be in this picture? Where would Harry Kane be?
He would be at Daniel Levy's door knocking, asking to sack Ange Postecoglou.
No,
that's what he'd be doing.
No. In this picture, where would Harry Kane be on the pitch?
He'd be at centre back because that's where Ange would want him to play.
No. But look, no, I'm trying to say here, when everyone's further up the pitch because we've gone forward and lost the ball, Harry Kane will probably be where you see Bergvall there.
Yeah, he would be.
Right. Okay. Now, same here. In this picture, Harry Kane wouldn't be in this half of the pitch.
It'd be where Sarr is. It'd be where Sarr is.
He'd probably be where Sarr is. So again, all of this, if we had Harry Kane, I agree, Dan. If we had Harry Kane, we're going to get a few more goals.
I agree. What I'm saying is, if Ange is lucky he doesn't have a Harry Kane, because Harry Kane would be at Daniel Levy's board saying, "Oi, boss, sack this guy. This is unacceptable. We can't be 15th. We can't be 15th."
Yeah.
He'd be at his door immediately. He'd be knocking on his door, sack this guy. This is unacceptable. You can't play football like this.
He's not that sort of person, is he? Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. But my point is, even if we still had Harry Kane, I still
Eric
don't
Dyer
think we'd be doing
would
any
be.
better.
Eric Dyer would be at his door.
Yeah,
sack this guy.
Different attitudes.
Sack him.
But
all the leaders at the club that Ange has got rid of, because he got rid of all the leaders. Because Ange likes to say he likes to grow leaders. He got rid of all of them. He got rid of all of them on purpose.
And just likes to mould his own people.
He got rid of anyone with any sort of aura of leadership because he knew that they would stand up to him, which is why James Maddison's because James Maddison won't have it. He's standing up to him. He's saying, this is not acceptable. You can't play football like this. People are getting injured. He gets rid of every single player that will stand up to him. this manager likes it when people scratch his back. This is not a manager that likes to be questioned. As you saw it with that fan after the game, if you've seen that clip of that fan saying, "You're going to get us relegated," Ange comes out and shows that pretends he's a big man. He doesn't like being questioned. He's a dictator. He's a dictator.
What happened with Dyer when he went to Bayern Munich? One of the first things he said was about Spurs, and a lot of people thought it was having a dig at Spurs. This manager, the training, there is no real training. As all we do is run and run, and then get the ball forward and run. We don't do no free kick training. We don't do no dead ball training. We don't do none of this. We don't do no defending training. The manager's got no tactics except for the one way he wants to play. He refuses to us to look at every way. A lot of people just looked at it as in Dyer's just having a bit of a bitchy.
Yeah, they didn't like Eric Dyer, so they used him as a scapegoat. But everything Eric Dyer said...
It could be understandable, him having that attitude. But again, it's all starting to roll out now.
He's proven right, isn't he, though, Dan?
Yes,
a broken clock is right twice a day, and he's been proven right.
I mean,
yes.
Look, by the way, I'm seeing people in the chat say things like, well, will you give the next manager 3 to 5 years? Can I just say something? This is really simple. If they do well, yes. If they do poorly, no. This is like any other walk of life.
Yeah.
If in my real day job, I turn around to my boss and say, sorry, I've been shit for 2 years, but it is a 5-year project. My boss is going to go, see you later, mate. Here's your P45. But football fans go, give them 3 to 5 years. Right. Do you know when you give managers 3 to 5 years is when you can see slow incremental improvements throughout your team. We are doing, like Perchie put it brilliantly yesterday. He said, we're not even doing that. We're plummeting. We're on one of those rides. I don't go on rides. We're on one of those rides when you stand in it and it just goes boom, right? Yeah. We are free falling and people are going, but he needs 3 to 5 years. Let me ask those people, what happens? What's going to change between now and this time next year to his tactics?
Nothing.
What is going to change? He hasn't changed them in 18 months. I was told in the summer, gentlemen, the same way you were. I was told in the summer, but what he normally does is he tweaks in his second, in the summer of before his second season. He tweaks then, which makes no sense. But now that hasn't happened. It's, but what he does, remember that Ben guy? He has to hit the bottom of the V. Right? These people, no offense to them, they've been wrong about everything they've said about Ange. This is what he does in year 1. Wrong. He develops youth. Wrong. This is what he does in year 2. Wrong. He tweaks his tactics. Wrong. Wrong. But they're still going, he deserves a chance. This isn't a charity.
It's a business.
We're one of the biggest 6 football clubs in the country.
Yeah.
This isn't Sunday league. This isn't like on a Sunday league, right? I remember my Sunday league team, we used to train on a Thursday night. By train, we'd go and have a kickabout and then go down the pub, right? We used to train on a Thursday night. And the manager, I remember, he'd always say at the end of Thursday, right, don't be getting too drunk Saturday night. You're playing Sunday or you're not, all this sort of stuff. And we go, what, Gaffer, what? I scored a goal last week. And you'd have these rows and this isn't that.
Yeah.
This is a multi-billion pound football club, right? That is fighting to hopefully win trophies and get into Champions League football via the league. And we've got fans going, just give him a bit more time.
Did Harry Redknapp need 12 months to get Tottenham playing decent football?
Nope. Like
Three games.
Like
yep. 3 games. He put this one there. He put this one there. He bought in Shaw Luca. He bought in Pete. Like, if we bought in a veteran Shaw Luca now, the Ange fanboys would be going, "Oh, we can't have Shaw Luca. He's awful. He's slow." If we bought in Palacios, he's one-dimensional. We need players like this now. We need men. People that we need men.
Sorry, just before I bring you in, Dan, sorry, I do think as well, people need to go back and revisit the history of Tottenham. I'm getting a little bit bored of this, right? First and foremost, Matt, you need to learn your Tottenham history. First of all, we hounded out Conte. No, people had an opinion. If you couldn't see from the last 3, 4, 5 months of Conte's press conferences that he did not want to be at Tottenham, that he was ill, you could see he was not well, right?
Yeah.
He was ill. And that's why when he parted ways, yeah, it wasn't a sacking. If you actually go back and read all about it, he wasn't sacked. They parted ways, right?
He was very ill.
He didn't want to be here. Some of the Spurs fans like me, yeah, didn't want him here. We didn't hound him out. Now, let's go to Jose Mourinho. Jose wasn't hounded out. Our chairman decided to sack him
because he questioned him
the week of a cup final because he said, and this is all the reports that you're hearing, all of the people that you know who know someone at the club said that Ange Postecoglou was told, Jose Mourinho was told by Daniel Levy, yeah, don't rest players in the Premier League game, which I believe was Southampton before that. Jose said, I'm going to rest some players for Southampton and play them against Man City in the final. Apparently, Levy's turned around and said, no, this is more important because of the revenue. And Jose's turned around, again, but there's so much noise around this that apparently Levy said, well, you don't need me as manager then if you know what you're doing. And then he's gone, right, you're sacked. So all of this, we hounded out the last 5 managers. This isn't true, Matt. Matt, come on. I know I've seen what you said in the chat that you come on and you won't come on because you'll get abused. Come on. I really want to hear your reasonings because for the last year, all I've seen you do is blindly back a manager that has done that is getting worse and worse and worse. You're then now blaming it on the last 5 managers, right? Like, so you're not blaming it on, well, we hounded out the last 5. Did we? Did we hound them out? I mean,
no.
It's madness. It's absolutely madness.
Such a bad choice of words. Such a bad choice of words. The English is such a mad.
But the problem is, Danny, and I'll come to you with this. The problem is, though, we're being revisionists about the history of Tottenham. So when I hear people say things like, we've got these new fans that support Spurs recently that say, well, you've had 24 years of failure. Whoa, hang on. Now, I don't like the chairman and the owners as much as the next guy, Dan. But in that 24 years, we've had some very, very good teams. We've had some very, very good. We've got some multiple finals. We've had some very good teams. We've finished 2nd, 3rd, 4th repeatedly. And they come in and go, well, you've been shit for 24 years. Whoa. No. We've had some shit times, but we've not been shit for 1/4 of a century.
The funniest one, Savva, the funniest one is people in the Ange camp say to me, you're just a fair weather fan. You only support them when it's easy. I've been a Tottenham fan for 29 years. There's never been fair weather. It's all been crap.
Look,
how old do you think I am? People must think I'm 90, for God's sake. I'm only 29.
Because you're saying you want a manager out or you don't like the player and that, it don't mean you're not supporting your club. You support your club when you want it to do better. I support Tottenham Hotspur. I don't support Ange Postecoglou. I support Tottenham, not Timo Werner. I support Tottenham, not any other player. I just want them to win for Tottenham. You know, that's how I see it. I think someone on the side here, I think he's made a really good point, Savva. 1109, Albie Mangles, whatever his name is.
We're seeing small incremental improvements in the league. I can't fucking believe it. I have no idea. This is how you know it's not a fan, it's a troll. And you know, sorry, Dan, an increase in cup performances. We've scraped past Hoffenheim, Ferencvaros, Alkmaar, right? Coventry. Right, so what you mean is we've had 2 good cup wins against Liverpool, which isn't even finished yet, and Man City. That's what you mean. It's sorry, Dan. Sorry, I'm just absolutely baffled how these trolls survive from day to day. I'm baffled. Which comment, Dan?
Albie Mangles 1109. Yeah. In all seriousness, they always lose by 1 goal. So if he lost his stubbornness and wouldn't take along, it wouldn't take long to get a different result. Do you know what? I agree with what he says, because we don't exactly get smashed out there by the goals. Yes, they cook us when they cook us, sort of thing. Always the same way. But it's like what I've been saying for a while ago. And it's the one that people get sick of hearing it, but I don't care because it is a major problem. If he would just stop inverting those bloody wing backs, I think that's 20% of his problem solved. Starts reading the game a bit better, get your straight back line better, a little bit deeper. I reckon that's 25% of his problem sorted. And then he can build from that. But it's the fact that he won't adapt. It's the fact that he won't change nothing. It's the fact that when we see the games we have actually played best in is when we've actually had a flat back line. And we have not played inverted wing backs. And then he just goes back to the same old crap. I do think if he just adapted a couple of little things, he could change this situation round a bit better. I'm not saying totally fix it, but he could make things look better. But he don't, and that's what makes it even worse for me.
I agree, but you know, I'll bring Jay in for a second. I just need to do some super chats, Jay, and then I'll bring you in. And I love this green background you got. Like you're in what's that cave that Superman has? You know when he goes to that place in the
It's
where
the
is
Fortress
that?
of Solitude.
The fortress. I knew you would know, Ben. I knew that Ben would answer that question. I just bloody knew it. Super chats. Rink Ettinger said, imagine Spurs / Ange next season in the Championship and the Champions League. Mate, can you imagine Rink Ettinger, Ange playing 46 games a season in the Championship in that blood and thunder league where every team is up for it, every game, kick, bollock and bite? Mate, he would be destroyed and these tactics wouldn't last a second. Trust me. Big up to you. D&B forever, always putting in his super sticker. Love you, dude. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it. Alex Smith has said, I'm an Arsenal fan. Under Poch, I was worried facing Spurs. Now I'm not worried anymore. Soon a London derby could be Millwall scary. Alex, this is what a lot of our point has always been, right? Under Pochettino, under Harry Redknapp, teams didn't want to play Tottenham Hotspur. We were respected. Now, yeah, we were mocked. You can't win a trophy. But no one wanted to play us. We went unbeaten at home. No one wanted to play us. We were rock solid. Teams couldn't break through us. No one was having 20 shots on our goal in a game, right? We had fullbacks playing at fullback, getting up and back. We had centre-halves who were a proper centre-half pairing. We had two centre-mids who sat in front of that back four that controlled the game, passed it well, tackled, right? We had a playmaker in Ericsson. We had goals from Ali, Son and Kane. It was perfect, yeah? Coaching. So thank you very much for that, Alex. Vanity has said, being a manager requires a person to have some empathetic traits. And looking at Ange, it should be clear that he has none. I agree. Plus, I never understand when some Spurs fans say they like Ange. What is there to like? We'll talk about this in a minute, Vanity. I completely agree. I don't think there is anything to like about Ange. Tony Rodriguez has said 85% of the Aussie fans are not Spurs fans. They are Ange fans, and thank God they will be gone when Ange is gone. Look, I know a lot of really nice Australian fans that have been here way before Ange, right? But you are right. You can tell when the fans just come in because what they do is they don't say we. They say you. Your club doesn't deserve Ange. So hang on, isn't it our club? Shouldn't it be our club, not
There are loads of amazing. The Perth Supporters Club in Perth, obviously, are amazing. There are some amazing Spurs supporters clubs that have been there for 25, 30 years. So there is a massive Spurs supporter base in Australia pre this manager. So big up all the Australian Spurs fans that actually want to support Tottenham and not a manager's vanity project.
Absolutely.
Bella, another one. Bella in the chat.
Hang on. Let me finish these. And then Vanita said, League and FA Cup are for trolls. Premier League and Champions League are the ones that counts. Respect Poch and the team. Then they went for the greatest glory. Look, Vanita. Listen, we should never. I'm not belittling any cups. No one should belittle any cups. I don't think anyone's a troll for wanting to win a cup. My point is, though, the question was, if we finished 15th or 16th but won the Carabao Cup, would I want to keep Ange? And the answer is absolutely not, because the bigger picture is that it's not working. And then, Bobby, I have saved this question. I'm going to come. Oh, no, that's not to me. Sorry, ignore me. That was for me. I thought you said mate. Jay, how you doing, bro? You good?
I've recovered. I've had a good sleep. Big up everyone. Big up the panel. Big up the chat. You know, I've had a sleep. Yesterday, I got home from the game and I absolutely lost my shit, man. Like, I went absolutely mad because you know what? Not only did we just lose to another relegation team, which apparently there's 3 teams worse than us, and we've lost to 2 of them already. So, you know, that's there. I left the stadium, got to the station, no trains were running. It was pissing down with rain. Had to book a cab that cost me bloody damn near 100 quid to get home. The cab didn't turn up, so I had to book another cab. Then I finally got home. I was late to my stream. As I was getting in and starting the stream, I was literally taking my coat off. I sat down and you know what? I lost my shit, man, because I'm absolutely sick and tired of everybody sitting here pretending that things are just fine. He's going to turn it around. I've got you till the end, Gaffer. Why? Why? What on earth? What? I don't think... I've never seen a fan base full of like we have turned into Arsenal now. We're the Arsenal fans now. The Tottenham fans have become worse than the Arsenal fans because the delusion is crazy. I've never seen anyone, any club in any position, if they were sat 15th, have won 1 out of the last 10 games, would sack their manager at half time. He wouldn't have even gone back to the training ground after the game. He would be on a flight back to wherever he was going to go. I don't understand.
Jay,
this, Savva.
what did Everton, what have Everton done when they started worrying about relegation?
Everton sacked their manager. Wolves sacked their manager. Look how many, everyone, United sacked their manager.
West Ham.
Teams,
West Ham.
Roma.
sacked their manager.
Roma. 3.
Roma sacked their manager. Dortmund sacked their manager. Milan sacked their manager. Everyone out here that is serious about competing sacks their manager. And I get it. Everyone wants to use this, I don't want to be in a cycle of 18 months. Guess what? Chelsea were in a cycle of sacking managers, but they were in a cycle of winning cups as well. They were in a cycle of being successful. And when you get it right, you get it right. And that's the problem. At Tottenham, unfortunately, yes, Levy is the biggest problem. However, like I said, Kim Jong-Levy, he's not going anywhere. Okay? He isn't going anywhere. We're not going to get him out of the club, unfortunately. Because, again, yesterday, I was there. Do you know what Daniel Levy done, right? At half-time and at full-time, to drown out the Levy out chants and the boos, they turn up the speakers.
He does it every time.
During the game, remember in COVID when there were no fans and they were playing the sound of the fans?
Yeah.
They started playing it during the game to drown out the Levy out chants. And you guys think that Levy's going anywhere.
Mate, you could hear it clear and day on the telly. What I watched on USA TV, you could hear it clear as day several times.
That was the loudest Levy out chants I've ever heard in that. That was louder than when Nuno went. It was louder than that. And it went round for at least 10 minutes as well. It was a long time. So
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Can I ask a question
Right.
to you?
I've got to shoot anyway quickly.
Yeah, no,
so
no,
cheers
yeah,
for having us on. Have a good day, everyone.
See you later.
See you later.
mate.
Take care, buddy.
Can I ask a question? For all these people that are now backing Ange in 15th, and by the way, 15th, but the team in 16th have a game in hand on us. Like, it's Everton, right? I want to answer this honestly, right? Please don't take the piss. I want everyone in the chat to answer this, and you guys on the... If I had sat here in the summer and said, you know what? With this squad and this manager, I think that at the end of January, Tottenham are going to be 15th in the Premier League. How much abuse would I have got for being toxic and negative?
A lot.
You would have
Unbelievable
been slammed to the
amounts.
ground.
I would have been slammed to the ground by the Bens, by the Chris's, by the Cam Tinleys, by these people, right? By people like this. They would have slammed me. What do you mean? We've got Ange. Look at this player. He's great. This player's great. This player's great. This player's great. Now, I didn't say that because I didn't think think he was this bad. I predicted 7th. And Jay, I know you saw it, Ben, but at the time, Jay, the dog's abuse I got for predicting 7th. What, you think we're going to finish below Chelsea and Villa?
Yep.
That was what I got. Emery, shit. Maresca in his first season in the Premier League. Who have they bought? Oh, my God. Villa have sold Diaby. They're letting go of their best players. This is what I got. Now imagine I'd said 15th at the end of January. I would have been told Savva's a troll. Savva's not serious. Savva's negative to make money on his YouTube channel as though I make 20 grand a month or something from it. Right. By the way, I don't. Ben will understand this. You know, I'm sure when you monetize, Jay, it's not what people think it is. But this is the difference. If you had said that then, you would have been told, oh, don't be stupid. This manager's brilliant. We've got a good enough squad. Now it's Ange just being let down. So nothing to do with his tactics. Nothing to do with the fact that he doesn't rotate players when everyone's fit. Nothing to do with the fact that he plays Archie Gray at left back rather than Reguilon when Reguilon can't play this Thursday. So Archie Gray has to play another game, the young lad, out of his position. Yeah. Nothing to do with...
He can't play on Thursday either. So we're making... So poor Archie Gray is going to play 100... He's going to play 180 minutes of football now. He's going to play 180 minutes of football.
My point. This is my point. Nothing to do with any of that. We're now at the stage where people are now condoning, right? Condoning being 15th, where if anybody had said that in the summer, they would have been absolutely, utterly abused. Imagine this, guys. Imagine any of us, any Spurs YouTuber out there, don't matter who it is, whether you like them or not. Imagine any of us had gone on to a panel show in the summer with other fan bases. Right? And imagine the Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa fan, whatever, blah, 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 turn around and went, you guys will be 15th in January. We would have gone, shut up, wouldn't we? We would have gone, oh, shut up. We would have gone, that's fucking ridiculous. Shut up. This is never going to happen. Now we're there. We've got fans going, well, don't worry, because we're in the semi-final of the Carabao Cup. Like, don't worry, we're in all the cups. Well, yeah. Mathematically, it's almost impossible by now to have been knocked out of the Europa League, right? We've played absolute shit in the Europa League, and we've played Tamworth in the FA Cup. Of course, we're still in the FA Cup. Sorry, guys, for the rant and the vent, but do you see what I mean?
No, spot on.
Francis, leave. Francis, leave. What would you like me to talk about, Francis? Name me a positive at Tottenham.
Chick King's really good. Chick King's really good. That's a positive. Move on. Back to the shit.
Yeah. Chris, the difference is, mate, is that when fans like you that are supported 5 minutes tell me we've been bad for 24 years, you're showing you don't know our history. I had to teach you the other day who Harry Redknapp was. I had to teach you, when you came on my channel, I had to teach you what Harry Redknapp did for this football club. And you're sitting there going, it doesn't matter that I've only supported 5 minutes. Well, it does when you're telling fans that have supported for decades that this isn't the worst we've been. This is the worst we've been for about 75 years, Chris. And fans like you going, it's all right. Get off his back. Have a day off, man. Have a day off. Have a day off. Sorry. Just so frustrated with these fake fans at Tottenham now. So frustrated with it. Only 295 likes. Please smash that like button. We've got 855 in the house. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as well. Please subscribe to these two chaps as well. Please subscribe to the Coffee Company and also to the Hotspur Cave. If someone would be so kind to put their links in, that would be amazing. I just never thought, I'll start with you, Jay. I just never thought we'd be in a position where we're this shit and still our fans think it's okay. I truly believed if it ever got this bad, we'd unite and go, yeah, this is shit. But we haven't.
I've been saying for a very, 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 very long time that Daniel Levy has slowly, for the last 2 decades, been trying to reshape what the culture of this club is, what success looks like. And now we have a generation of fans that have grown up thinking that beating Arsenal, beating West Ham, and beating Chelsea and finishing above them is our success. That is what's considered success now. Being a top team. That's why when you sit there and talk to fans, they won't tell you, "Oh, I'll take 6th place in an FA Cup." They'll tell you, "No, I'll take 15th and a Carabao. I'll take 16th and a Carabao." They won't tell you that because they do. That's how low the bar is. The bar is so low, and then you get fans like us who call stuff out and get called negative. Savva, I showed you the message of what I was told. I get told I'm abusing the players because I'm calling players out for performing terribly. I'm not taking personal digs at them. I'm not talking about their families, their wives, their mothers, daughters, brothers, sisters. I'm not doing any of that. I'm simply keeping it purely football basis. And what you have with a lot of these fans is whenever you present facts, whenever you present logic, they rebuttal your argument with insults because their brains are too slow to process what's actually going on. The fact of the matter is, we are in a relegation fight. We are fighting to stay in the Premier League. On the weekend, we had to rely on Liverpool to beat Ipswich. When have we ever been in a world where we have to rely on Ipswich Town dropping points?
Yeah. We're looking this weekend and going, shit, before we play Brentford, Ipswich and Wolves and Leicester play. God, please lose. That's where we're at, Jay. And by the way, people in the chat, stop timing people out unless they are abusive. I can't just time out Chris and Matt, for example, because they've got terrible opinions. Please, unless they're being abusive, or I will remove all my mods other than Ben and do it myself. Please stop timing people out for silly reasons, okay?
And I just wanted to add quickly.
Do you know why? Sorry, Matt, Jay, one last thing.
No,
it's not about being righteous. Mate, I've had death threats sent to my house. The abuse my wife has received on social platform because of my Tottenham views. So when I am right, yeah, I'm damn right saying I'm right. Right? It's not about being righteous. It's what's in front of you. Like, I'll let Jay finish off. Jay's saying the facts are there and people want to ignore them.
And Everton, I mean, we're sitting here talking about Everton and whatnot. Guess who Everton have to play on the weekend? Leicester. So either way, one of those two teams either leapfrog us or close the gap on us. Yeah. Because let's be honest, we're not beating Brentford away. There's no way we're going to Brentford away and beating them. There's no way. They're licking their lips. Why is it that every team that are struggling for wins come to Tottenham and pick up their first win? We did it with Palace. We've done it with Leicester now. It's becoming we've done it with Ipswich. We've done it with
Do you mean this, Jay? Do you mean this? It's almost like I've got a picture ready for you, my friend. Do you mean this?
Exactly. That's exactly what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. And fans will sit there and try and hurl abuse at Jamie Vardy for doing He has every right to, mate. Because guess what? This 36, 37-year-old striker has got promoted to the Premier League, won a Premier League, won an FA Cup, got relegated, got promoted again before Tottenham have shown any ambition
and he could have left. He could have left Leicester as well. There were offers on the table for him to go to like an Arsenal. There were offers on the table for Jamie Vardy to go to bigger clubs, but he showed loyalty to stay to Leicester and keep going until the end of his career. He showed loyalty to Leicester.
Rewarded that loyalty with success. What do our owners reward loyalty with? Can I just tell you something? On average, do you know what the average wage at Tottenham Hotspur is? £69,000 a week.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be a top club, and we don't
Yeah.
have one player over 200 grand a week. That tells you all we need to know, because we're the highest earners, but spend the lowest amount of money. And we have the richest owner in the Premier League. That tells you all you need to know. Sorry, I had to rant there, boys, but it's been doing my
I'll
head
go for it, man.
for the longest, man, because I've been screaming this. I said we'd finish 10th this season.
So many
I just
people.
got 5 steps worse.
Yeah. So many people who are in that camp, they can't talk football. I'm sorry if that hurts any of them. They don't know. They can't talk football, because when you see you're 15th in the league, when you see that the results are getting worse and worse and worse and worse, how can they turn around and say it will get better? I promise it will get better.
Like this, Ben. Like look at the state of this comment. You think moving Ange on will help us? Yes. He's a shit manager. Yes.
Because what will happen is we'll get a person that understands. Like Allegri is one of the guys. Lubo was wrong, by the way. I love Lubo, but we've got to call Lubo out. ITK Lubo at your service.
Hang on, he might appear. Lubo, where are you?
Lubo, he's probably working. A manager like an Allegri, let's say Allegri comes in tomorrow. He's the example because that's the one we were given. He comes in and he organises that defence. Allegri is a dinosaur, and I will call him a dinosaur because I think he is a dinosaur. He comes in and the first thing he says, this Tottenham team are conceding too many goals. I'm organising that defence. I'm putting Dragic at the middle of a back three, and I'm making this Tottenham team give up as little space as possible, and I'm stopping that rot. I'm stopping that conceding the goals, because the problem isn't that we can't score goals. We score in almost every single game. I think one of the only games I can't name a game. I think we've only gone one. Those are the only games we haven't scored a goal in this year. We score in basically every game. The problem is we can't. It's not that we can't score. The problem is we let in so many goals because when we get the ball, the entire team goes up front.
Exactly.
The entire team goes up front. And that is not players. That is the manager giving them instructions that as soon as we get the ball, go up front. And Allegri comes in, a David Moyes, not even a top manager that's been a David Moyes comes in, a journeyman manager, a Harry Redknapp, even a Neil Warnock comes in and says, or a Sam Allardyce, first thing we've got to do is we've got to stop them getting in the goal, and we got to go and score as many goals as we can. Organise. You organise the defence. When Ledley King was here, for example, under Jose Mourinho, and we had a corner, Ledley King, organise. You've got to organise your team. That's not how you play football. You've got to have an idea of what you do on a football pitch. We are the least organised football team that I've ever seen.
Have a look at this, right? So this is what we're dealing with this fan base, right? I want anybody that's been a Spurs fan for the last 20 years to really take in how bad this opinion is and how much it shows that these new Ange fans don't have a clue. Look at this. I Googled your Harry Redknapp. 0 cups, 4th place finish, have the week off. Now, can I tell you what makes me laugh about this? First of all, Chris, you're an idiot. Second of all, Chris doesn't understand any of the backlog to Harry Redknapp joining the club, where we were when he joined. We were bottom of the Premier League table. We were bottom. He took us from bottom to 8th. And then the very next season, top 4, which was our first ever Champions League finish, Chris.
Yeah.
Yes, he didn't win cups. But by the way, during that time that Harry Redknapp was there, Arsenal were a top team. Liverpool were a top team. Man United were a top team. Chelsea were a top team. City had just had their money start to come in. Yeah. Chris, again, when you say this stupid shit, you show you don't know the club. Come on, Chris, I'm going to ask you right now. Come on. You came on before. Let's see you come on again, because you have just belittled one of the best managers we've had for the last 30 or 40 years, right? Whilst sucking off Ange Postecoglou, who's the worst.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if that's rude, guys. Harry, Can you believe this, Jay? Look at
That's pissed
Harry
me off, man.
Redknapp did a fantastic job at Tottenham Hotspur.
And this is what I was telling you
Wow.
about Daniel Levy.
We went to AC Milan and beat them 1-0 in the San Siro with no
Wow.
Gareth Bale,
Like-
with Stephen Pienaar at left wing.
I mean, listen, new fans can join the fan base, sure. But don't you come in here and tell us listen, I've said before, I enjoyed the Redknapp era more than the Poch era. Now, I'm not going to say I have a big battle of those two. They were both very good. Harry Redknapp was absolutely brilliant for this football club. Look what he developed Gareth Bale into.
Yeah.
Look what he developed Luka Modric into. Yeah. He brought us in Rafa van der Vaart, right?
Yeah.
He made us good at the back. And we've got this guy saying, oh, have a week off, Savva. He only got top 4 twice and no trophy. Just absolute.
Harry Redknapp's the man that won an FA Cup with Portsmouth, of all teams, with Portsmouth.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. They've erased the culture of the club, boys. They've erased the heritage of the football club. This is what is happening now. They won't take the time to make these things known. I don't see any pictures of Harry Redknapp around the stadium. You don't see that around the stadium. Instead, you see Romero, you see Son, you see Brennan Johnson, Archie Gray, all of these players. You're not going to see any heritage. And then you have new fans like Chris, which I'm sure he's a troll. I'm sure he's probably kicking his feet up in the air because we're reading his comments. Do you know what I'm saying? But the reality is, we're fighting a losing battle. We're fighting a losing battle because all this fan base know is mediocrity. Mediocrity. And then they sit there. These are the same fans that will call out Daniel Levy, but you're the exact type of fan Daniel Levy wants. A clueless fan who's going to just cap for whatever goes on at the club. You're the type of fans that Daniel Levy wants. Not guys like us. They don't want us at the stadium. They don't want us around the club. Because when things go wrong, we will call it out. We're not going to sit here and hide and keep backing someone who's clearly incompetent, clearly not good enough, tactically inept. He played Archie Gray at left back, like you guys said, and now he's going to have to play in the Europa League at left back. And everyone's saying, oh, but we're already through, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Of course it matters. Because if Archie Gray gets injured, you guys will be the same ones there crying about how, oh, we keep getting injuries. We're so unfortunate. It's not poor fortune. It's not bad luck that we're getting injuries. It's poor man management. It's poor squad management because he's misusing these players, inverting players that don't need to be inverted. And then we wonder why players like Maddison can't thrive in the middle because he's got no space to operate. And one last thing, we signed players to play a counter-attacking system. So why are we playing possession-based football? Because Johnson isn't going to hug the touchline and take his man down to the byline. No, he wants to run off the shoulder of the last defender. Solanke wants to hold the ball up. All of these signings are for a manager like Allegri, who's going to come in and say, look, sit back and Dominic Solanke's our target man. Johnson, Son, run off him.
I reckon Brennan Johnson would be really good in a 2 up top. I think he'd be really good.
I agree. Just quickly, by the way, MB9678 says, Savva, compare the squad Redknapp had to what we have now. When Redknapp joined us, we were bottom.
Yeah.
Redknapp, with some very shrewd signings and not a lot of money, built a very good squad.
Veteran Luka from Man City at the time, who they didn't want anymore. Wilson Palacios.
Jermaine Defoe.
Robbie Keane.
Right. So, and then people are saying he had Modric. Guys, again, there's too many fans who don't know Tottenham's history. When Luka Modric first came to Spurs, he was playing left wing and he was very weak, very frail, and not the Luka Modric you're thinking of now. Not the Luka Modric that went on to win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah.
Harry is the one that came in and went, hang on, no, I want Bale. Bale's at left back. No. I want him at left wing. Luka.
Benoit Assou-Ekotto at left back. Benoit Sarakoto at left back because he was a
but
good left back.
I want Bale at left wing. I'm going to bring Modric into the middle, and I'm going to put some steel around Modric to let Modric play. These people, again, they don't understand Spurs. This is the problem. You can look at the history books and go, didn't win anything. The context. Redknapp's done that with us. Yeah? Poch done that with us. Ange is doing that with us.
I've got Redknapp's stats up here, by the way. I pulled up his stats. So if we look at Harry Redknapp, right? Let's actually take a look at it. He had a 49.49 win percentage. 98 wins in 198 games. 50 draws, 50 losses. So when we sit here and look at Ange Postecoglou, right? And this is a damning stat that I had to really get, and let's really try and get our heads around this. First of all, we lost 13 games in the whole of last season. We've lost that already. Second of all, we're in January and we still haven't got past the points tally of the first 10 games of last season.
Yep.
But everyone wants to sit here and act, like Ange is this superhero. You know the superheroes where they get knocked down and then they get their second wind and defeat the bad? No, Ange is not iron. He's not invincible. He isn't invincible. And when a manager's coming out in press conferences and he can't even make eye contact, he can't look up. That is a sign.
He doesn't even talk to his own. He doesn't even talk to his play. When you see a good manager, Jay, they're talking constantly. They're moving their hands. They're showing. Right, our manager does nothing. He pulls, like Savva said earlier. He pulls his jumper up over his face and he does that. They can't hear him. He sits there being cold. Yes, I was cold. But I still, you've got to shout at your players. Right, give them some encouragement. Give them some ideas. Give them, because the manager, when you're in the battle, when you're on the pitch, sometimes you miss things. The manager always can see what's going on. He's not giving them any. He's covering his mouth and he's expecting them. Give them some ideas. Give them some encouragement at least. Show them that you're with them and you're going to fight for them. You see Arteta, and Spurs fans hate when you bring up Arteta because they hate it when you bring up Arteta. Look how aggressive he is on the touchline. He's always outside his technical area. He's fighting. He's heading every ball. He's screaming at his players. Do this. Do that. Do this. Move there. You're out of position. Get back in shape. That's what a manager does. That's what a coach does. And then the players see that on the touchline and you think, my boss is there for me. My boss cares about my performance. My boss cares about me. Our boss he lets them all out to drive. It's all their fault. It's all their fault.
Mate, I look, just before you go, I know you need to go soon, Ben. First of all, Redknapp was great, but towards the end, betrayed us and dropped the ball. I mean, dropped the ball by finishing in the top 4 of the Premier League. Right. Now this, guys and girls, for anybody that hasn't seen this, these 4 seasons that are highlighted are Harry Redknapp at Tottenham Hotspur. Right. Now, the first one, slightly skew-iffed because he took us over after 8 games when we were bottom. Yeah. Right. So in that season where it says we lost 15 games, 6 of those were before Harry even got the job.
Yeah.
Right. Let's have a look. In those seasons, let's look at some of the stats, right? In those seasons, Spurs finished 8th after being bottom, 4th, which was the first time ever in our Premier League history, 5th, and then 4th again. All right? Look at what that man did league-wise, right? Look at the number of goals. Look at the number of goals conceded compared to what we do now. The number of goals conceded, 45.
Yeah.
Right? 41, 46, 40. Right? Look at the number of losses. 10, 8, 9. This manager's lost 13 in 23. We've got these idiot fans going, oh, well, the standards aren't very high. This Chris idiot going, these standards aren't very high. Does he realise what we were before this? We were never a top 4 team. Harry came in and put us on the map.
Yeah. Harry
Redknapp. Let me show you. I know you know, Ben, but let me show you. Fourth. We hadn't done that before. Then Poch took it over. Obviously, there was a couple of years in between. Then Poch took it over and carried it on.
Even you highlight even AVB is a better manager than Ange Postecoglou. That's a bet. Even AVB is a better manager.
Well, look at AVB, shall we? 66 goals. 60. Hang on, let me just get this right. 66 goals scored. Hang on, what's that column? One second. Let me make sure I'm getting the right information. Yeah.
Goals for, yeah.
Even there, right? 66 goals scored, 46 conceded with AVB.
Yeah.
How many's this manager conceded already this season? 46. So in an entire season under AVB, we conceded as many as we have already with this manager. Right? Look at the state of it. And this. We've got these guys telling us, well, you didn't win anything, so you were shit. What on earth?
Football
these fans
isn't black and white. Football is not black and white.
They don't understand Spurs. I'm so fed up with this.
Yeah, I've got to go, Savva.
Yeah, see you later, mate. Yeah.
Cheers, Savva. Cheers, Mark. Sorry, I was going to go anyway, but the sheriff's taking over. Jay, lovely to be on a stream with you finally. Great to see you, boys. See you in a bit.
Take care, bro.
Oh, yeah, of course, Matt. I'm going to send you my postcode. Yeah, of course I am. Matt, you've bottled it. You can't even come on a YouTube channel and chat, mate. You're a troll. You don't understand. You and Chris are the same person. You don't understand. Chris can join. He won't because he doesn't know Spurs. He's been a fan for 2 years. He doesn't know Spurs. So everything he says is from a black and white perspective. Football is not black or white. There's a massive grey area. I mean, Mark, you've seen all these managers at your ripe old age. Love you, dude.
Yes, thank you.
We've got fans in here talking about Harry Redknapp not doing that well. I mean...
Why do you think I'm on here?
I know, like a bat signal. I
had the link anyway, but as soon as like Harry was discussed, right? As you rightly said, factually said, we were bottom of the league when Harry took over. And I believe, now who did we play? Bolton at home in his first game. And we beat them 4-0. I believe.
I remember.
I haven't Googled anything. I think it was Bolton and we beat them 4-0. The crowd, after the first 8 games, the crowd was singing, "We got our Tottenham back." Right? This is after we beat Bolton 4-0 at White Hart Lane, the old White Hart Lane. And we actually moved, I think, off the bottom of the table. Right? Harry is an absolute legend. No, we did not win anything. He got us to Champions League for the first time in our history. And this was from years and years of being stuck in mid-table, mediocrity. He got us to Champions League for the first time with that win at the Etihad, just after Man City started to become the giants that they are. You know, it's mind-blowing how if anyone compares Ange with Harry Redknapp, they need to look at themselves. Honestly, I mean, no, we haven't won nothing for 15, 16 years, whatever it is. 17 years, actually. But, like, the managers we've had in the football we've played, it's a complete nonsense to what it is now. Honestly, it's like 2 different ends of the spectrum. When Harry was there, our football was scintillating.
Mate,
yes, we lost.
Have a look here, Mark. Right?
Yeah, I know.
It clearly says. No, I know you know this, but for these
Yeah.
uneducated people, Spurs had only secured 2 points from the first 8 matches of the season prior to Redknapp's arrival, and they
Yeah.
were bottom of the Premier League table. In his first 2 weeks in charge, he took the club out the relegation zone,
Mhm.
winning 10 out of 12 points, with wins against Bolton, Liverpool, Man City, as well as a 4-4 draw against Arsenal. So in
Yeah.
3 of his first 4 games, he played Liverpool, Arsenal, and City. Spurs got 10 points from 12, started moving up that table, and we got fans going, he didn't really do a lot.
No.
It's
No.
absolutely baffling.
I noticed this mystifying. Before Harry turned up, we were worse than we are now. I know that's hard to believe, but we were rock bottom of the table.
Yeah.
Rock bottom.
Rock bottom.
Yeah, well, I didn't realise that was his first games, but obviously I remember the 4-4 at the Emirates. That was what's his name? With the volley from like 40 yards.
Danny Rose.
No, not him.
What's his name? Ben.
I got a shirt with
Ben.
his name on upstairs somewhere. What's his name? The one who scored from like sort of between David Bentley. That's it. The extract. Yeah.
The touch off
It's almost as though I remember my football club and I understand the
Yeah.
history, isn't it? When
I just couldn't remember. Well, it's my age, Savva. I just can't remember his name. No, but like, honestly, Harry was a legend. Absolute legend.
Can I just say as well? I was quite young. I started supporting Tottenham in 2005, right? Harry Redknapp is one of the reasons why I never switched teams, because I was getting picked on from young. I've been getting picked on as a Tottenham fan wherever you go. Even now, I go on holiday. I was in Lanzarote a couple of weeks back. I got into the cab when I got out of the airport, and the cab driver looked at my shirt and chuckled. Do you know how embarrassing it is to go somewhere and get laughed at all the time? Harry Redknapp walked so managers like Pochettino could run. Do you know what I mean?
Great way of putting it.
He walks so managers like Pochettino can run. Harry Redknapp built the foundations of the Tottenham that is today. That's the reality of it. And the disrespect, I won't tolerate any Harry Redknapp disrespect. Because even to this day, he won't say a bad word about this club. He won't say a bad word about this club. He is one person I know for a fact that has always loved this club and always treated this club with the utmost respect. Even when he had to deal with Daniel Levy. Can you imagine? Can you imagine you're a handyman and you need these certain tools to do your work, to fix whatever you need to fix. And your boss is saying, no, use your hands. Use your hands. Use your hands. That's what it's like being a manager at Tottenham Hotspur. So for Harry Redknapp to come in, take us from bottom of the table into becoming a Champions League side, and you want to sit there and compare him to Ange Postecoglou.
That was in 2 years. That was in 2 years.
A European side to a relegation side. Give your head a wobble, mate. Give your head a wobble.
And that was in 2 years, Jay. 2 years he done that.
Exactly.
In 2 seasons. Well, a season and 3 quarters, really. He done that. There's 3 managers. There's 3 managers that have put Tottenham, I say, where we are now, where we were.
Can I guess? The first one?
Go on.
Big Martin Yole?
Yes.
Followed by Harry Redknapp?
Yes.
Followed by Mauricio Pochettino?
I wasn't going to leave him out, was I?
Of course. But we can't be, because Chris tells me we've had 24 years of failure. So they can't have done
nonsense. Absolute nonsense.
I
can't have done well.
On my first when I went to my first Champions League game ever, because I never believed that was anything that I'd ever experienced in my life. And I'm a child, bearing in mind, I was quite young. And it brought a tear to my eye. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, because that's how much I love Tottenham. And I never thought, all my friends, my mom, even my mum's a Chelsea fan. All of my friends can brag about lifting their Champions Leagues and, being in the Champions League every season. And I never got to experience that. And now Harry Redknapp has delivered something that I've never experienced in my life. And I'm supposed to sit here and compare him to anyone else? No, man. For me, He is one of our greatest managers of all time, and he will forever be a legend at this club.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
Colin.
mean? But again, you don't see murals of him outside the stadium.
No.
You don't
No.
see
Do you
him
know what
outside
he
the
did
stadium.
though? Do you know what he did, Jay? Which was what I loved about him. Harry Redknapp is back to basics. Harry Redknapp is, what do I need to do? I need a solid defense. I need a midfield that works, and I need forwards that score goals.
Yeah.
And you can see from this, it says here, listen to this. In January 2009, Redknapp signed 5 new players. By the way, not a lot of money, right? He bought back Jermaine Defoe for 15 million. He bought in Wilson Palacios, Carlo Cudicini, Pascal Chimbonda, and Robbie Keane, right?
Yeah.
And then the following summer, he added players, right? He added players like Peter Crouch, Nico Cranshaw, Basong. So again, we're not going worldies. We're not talking we've gone and bought 50, 60 million pound top level footballers. We've bought good, solid pros with experience. He bought them in and bonded them. And as Mark said, it's the fact that he did what you said, Jay, in a season and a half, just over a season and a half. This guy turned us from, wow, everyone wants to batter us, to no one wants to play Harry Redknapp's team.
Yeah.
And I just feel like we really, you know, look, sorry, not buying we were crap, then he made us good. He's the best manager we've had, so let's just keep firing managers. Chris, I've got to block you. I can't deal with fake fans. Come on, or I'm blocking you. There you go. I'm throwing it out to you because you don't understand. When you're saying, sorry, not buying this, you've just admitted you didn't know who Harry Redknapp was. You don't understand the history of the club, my man, right? We don't just keep firing managers. You fire a manager that's doing badly. Chris, you're a clown. Come on, let's talk. Chris, come on. Tell you what, I'm going to put the link in for Chris. Let's see if Chris has got it. Here we go. Let's see if Chris has got the cojones to come on. I want to see him.
There's another comment, Savva. There's another comment. It's a bit further back up now. There's loads. But the guy said that Savva hates talking about the ownership.
This.
Yeah.
I've been Levy out since 2007.
What more can we say on the ownership? At the end of the day, Daniel Levy isn't on the touchline. However you want to look at it, injuries or not, the manager's job is to pick up points, okay? And he has us sitting in 15th. You're comparing, right? You think you can sit here and talk to us about our club when you're comparing a manager who brought us from relegation into Europe, and you're comparing him to a manager who has taken us from Europe into a relegation scrap. I just want you to think about that.
Come on, Chris. No, mate, listen, do you want to see some more funny things? And by the way, Swanex, absolutely, mate. But this is the first thing Ange should have done, is gone out and found a Wilson Palacios type who can sit in defensive midfield. The guy doesn't want a defensive midfielder, though. I agree with you.
Can I just say something else that Harry did? Right, Harry, Gareth Bell, we bought him from Southampton as a youngster, right? He came to the club. We did not win one. We didn't win a game for like 20-something. Might have been more, might have been less when he played. We did not win. And everyone, it was like a curse around Gareth Bell, right? I think we were 4-0 up at home against somebody, and Harry threw him on and said, right, if we lose this now, he said, you are cursed. Right, but then he took Gareth Bell from left back, put him on the left side of midfield, and made him who he became at Real Madrid. He made him. As soon as he put him on the left wing, Gareth Bell, look what he'd done in the San Siro. When we were 1-0 down and we were 4-0 down and we'd had a player sent off. All right, we lost the game. Gareth Bell, on his own, scored a hat-trick. Took on everybody. And the game at White Hart Lane, when it was taxi for Mycon.
And Mark, Gareth Bale was one of the reasons a lot of fans even started supporting Tottenham. And
Well,
who do you have to thank for that?
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, I would have been, when we'd just have been in the night, I'd have been 20-something back then, so...
Yeah, obviously, fans like yourself.
Yeah.
Just say, when people like this say this, imagine Arsenal playing months without Raya, Saka, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber. First of all, we don't have any players on that level. I mean, I'm going to be, first of all, none of our players are on this level. Second of all, when all our players were fit, Kenneth, why was this our worst start for 20 seasons?
Yeah.
We conveniently forget this. This was our worst start to a season for 20 seasons after 12 games. Everyone was fit. So why? We're conveniently forgetting this. We're conveniently forgetting this. These are the same people that will say our players aren't good enough, but now it's the players who are out injured. These people are absolute clowns. Let me show you something, right? Look at this. You all remember this, the high line? Look at this. The number of defeats since that high line. Look at the state of it. Look at the state of it. Man United in that time, by the way, have sacked their manager and won 2 trophies.
And we were joking about them.
No, I know. Mate, absolutely. But look at this, 25. Now, let me show you something that's even more worrying, chaps. This is even more worrying. This is even more worrying. Where are we? Spurs, 13 defeats in our last 20 Premier League games. But by the way, how that one stat alone doesn't make everyone Ange out is baffling. You ready for the next one? Hang on, and I've ballsed it up. Apologies.
Oh, you didn't type it right.
13 defeats and 100, I think it is.
I've done it. There we go. So Spurs, 13 in 20. Arsenal, 13 in 100. Right? And we want to keep Ange.
Yeah.
We have never been further away.
Can I just say, right, I had no choice but to support Tottenham when I was born. And this is very similar to 1977 when we got relegated. I can only just remember that, but I can remember it. It's very similar. It's very similar to then. Right, this, and I will say, because I was too young to remember when we, well, I wasn't too young, but I can't really remember. This is the worst manager I have seen at the club in all the years I have supported it. In all the years. Right, we've been shocking and we've had mid-table mediocrity.
Yep.
We were like that for years.
Yep.
But we still nicked the cup now and again. But you got to put context behind this. I know that's your favourite word. We have built a £1 billion stadium that allegedly gets us up the top and competes. Why did we build it? To have this crap manager tear it all down. This is the worst I've ever seen us. The worst. Yes, we've been rubbish in the 90s. And yes, we were in mid-table. But I've never been worried about relegation. Ever.
Yeah. But by the way, sorry, listen, Chris, everyone's asking you, come on. You don't have to put your camera on. I know what you look like. You don't have to put your camera on. Come on. And what you don't understand, and again, this is to everyone, right? When we say things like this is how silly it is. Sacking managers every 5 minutes hasn't got the club anywhere. But when you have the worst manager in the club's history taking us to a relegation battle, Chris, any club would sack that manager. You don't just... If my wife was cheating on me, right? If my wife was cheating on me and I said, oh, I'll forgive you this one. Oh, I'll forgive you these 5. I'll forgive you these 10. By the way, my wife's lovely, but I'll forgive you these 10, right?
She don't watch this programme, does she, Sav?
Yeah,
you're in trouble if she does.
I bloody hope not. Do you think at what point do I turn around and go, hang on, this ain't working. She's cheating on me a lot. Or do I turn around and go, oh yeah, but I don't want to start the new process of dating and finding someone else to be with. I just want to have the pain. It's such a silly argument. It's it's basic. It's like playground argument. We don't want to fire managers. The guy's doing terribly. This is the worst, Chris, we've been for 75 years. How can you not see that? Look, I'll show you, Chris. I know you don't understand. I'll show you. Where are we? Was it this? This is the worst campaign for 75 years. But we can't keep sacking managers. This is the same manager that said this at the start of the season and said there's no reason this squad couldn't challenge for the league. This is the same manager in the last 12 games has only taken more points than the worst team that's ever been in the Premier League. But don't sack him every 5 minutes. Don't sack managers, because that's not how you get better. So, Chris, where are you? MB, if I get asked this question one more time, I give managers galore. Every show I name 5, 10 managers. And for every manager I get told, every manager I get told by fans like you, there's a reason why they're not better than Ange. Chris, come on. Yeah, come on again. Mate, copping abuse in the chat. Don't worry, I cop abuse every day in the chat. Come on. Everyone wants to hear you say why this manager should not be sacked. Yeah,
I've seen some of the comments, Savva. You get abuse after the show as well in the comments.
Exactly.
You know.
It's absolutely mental. Again, Greg has said, getting tired of this false equivalency. Repeatedly sacking managers has nothing to do with whether this manager needs to go. Jay, fair, right? Sacking past managers doesn't make this manager worth keeping.
Well, there you go, bro. That's like the girlfriend analogy is perfect. You know, oh, give her time. You know, give her time to change and turn things around. Nah, man. No, the house is burning down. Get out while you can. You know, we're sitting inside the house trying to put the fire out from inside while the whole building's burning down. It doesn't make any sense. Just let go. Forget about it. He isn't going to turn it around. And for everyone sitting there saying, oh, but, you know, we're going to end up with a defensive manager. So what? So what? We concede goals for fun. We concede goals to the point where we score and we're sitting there. We're not even happy that we've scored. I didn't celebrate when Richarlison scored. I didn't celebrate when we won against Hoffenheim. I'm done. I don't even want to see the players celebrate anymore. I don't want to see you celebrate because I don't care. Don't show us that you're expecting a baby. We don't want to know about your personal life. We don't care because you're not performing consistently enough. That's
I'll be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. I don't care. I don't care. Oh, sorry.
So I just wanted...
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen your point a million times about Redknapp getting Saha when we're in a title race. That has nothing to do with Ange Postecoglou being in 15th and should be getting sacked. We all hate Daniel Levy because he does things like what you've mentioned.
Bloody right, yeah.
But Harry Redknapp, who wasn't backed, had 2 fourth place finishes in an era where there were lots of good teams, right?
Mm-hmm.
And played great football, right? So what is your point, MB? You're making... My wife always says this to me. Talk about my wife a lot. She always says this to me. Unfortunately, unintelligent people can't make 2 points match. His point here has nothing to do with Ange. I get what he's saying. Well, it doesn't matter who comes in because Daniel Levy won't back them. But of course it matters when you're sitting 15th in the table.
Yeah. We
don't have 13 injuries, by the way. And by the way, Bournemouth have 10 and are 12 unbeaten. Kenneth,
yeah.
So you've just lost your own argument. A team that aren't even in a big 6 have gone 12 unbeaten without injuries.
And let's face it, right? All the players, or certainly a lot of the players that he assigned, he doesn't play them anyway.
Exactly. And then we look at the injuries that we have, Mark. We look at the injuries. Odobert doesn't play. Werner, we all think he's crap anyways.
Yeah.
Vicario, Romero, Van der Ven, cool. Those 3 and a doggy. Fair enough.
And a doggy who, by the way, hasn't done better than Jed Spence at left back.
Who was crap before he got injured anyways. And we were calling for him to get dropped. Okay? Bissouma, again, crap when he was playing. Now he's injured. Everyone's sitting there crying about him being injured. Oh, he's hamstring.
Go away.
It doesn't make any sense. Boys, we've got guys like Manuel Solomon out on loan, smashing it at Leeds. All of these players that we've sent out on loan, why hasn't he recalled any of them to the squad if we're dying with injuries? Yeah. We're dying for injuries, so recall these players that are doing well on loan. But then again, people don't understand that 2 things can be true at the same time. If you call out Ange, that means that you don't want to call out Daniel Levy. No, they can both leave together. But the fact of the matter is, we have to look at which one's more likely to leave first. The manager. The manager's always going to go before the owners go. The owners are never just going to up and leave the club, right? And the manager's just going to sit there and stay in a job. He's gone. Unless he's a successful manager who is bringing success before the owners leave, it's never going to happen. So when we sit here and talk about Levy, that is you guys running away from the fact that Ange is an incompetent manager who is our worst manager since just about before World War One.
Can I just tell you, so first and foremost, Phil, when we're saying Iriola or Silva wouldn't work for right now, why? Isn't what Iriola and Silva do is exactly that. They go to basics. They make their team solid and hard to beat. It makes no sense as a comment. And my mate Chris again, how many times are Bournemouth playing a week? Sorry, what? Because we've played one European game in 7 weeks means we play 3 times a week. By the way, Chris, I've just done some research. And again, I know you don't understand
shouldn't, if you're a top team, you should be playing twice a week because that means you're a successful club and you've qualified for Europe.
Do you know what, though?
You know?
Do you know what? What happened to the injury excuse when we beat Man City 4-0?
Well, it wasn't
What happened to the injury excuse when we beat Liverpool 1-0? All right, Chris, I've just looked. Spurs played Bournemouth 10 league games ago, right? 10 league games ago, Spurs played Bournemouth, right, guys? In that game, Bournemouth had 5 first-team injuries. Since then, their injuries have gone from 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9 to 10. So for the last 10 league games, Bournemouth have had between 5 and 10 players missing, right, with a smaller squad than Spurs, and haven't lost in 12 games while smacking up Newcastle 4-1, battering Forest 5-0, right? This is what I mean. Unfortunately, what we've all realised here is Chris doesn't understand football. I'm sorry,
mate.
It's
funny, though, to compare Tottenham and Bournemouth is like it's comparing to Bournemouth's ground holds less than our South Stand. Put that into perspective.
Yeah.
The whole ground holds 15, 16,000. The South Stand holds 17.5. You know, so, you know, Savva, Bournemouth are a very small team.
I agree.
They haven't got the resources. They haven't. And yet
they've got good coaches. They've got good managers.
Yes.
Haven't they?
Precisely. And they've got an owner that probably wants the best for their football club because that's all they've got.
Because he knows
that's
how
all
much
they've
that
got there.
club means to their fans. That's
Yes.
what he has. They have an owner who understands how much Bournemouth as a football club means to their local fans. Because let's have it right. They don't have a lot of international Bournemouth fans. You're not going to go to Thailand and meet a Bournemouth fan. You might see one here and there, but
I don't see them where I live, mate. And I live sort of near Bournemouth.
Exactly, right? Their owners understand exactly what it means to support Bournemouth Football Club and how much finishing up the table, how much joy that will bring their fans. We've got owners who are more interested in opening cafes and having the longest bar in the world and pints that fill up from the bottom of the cup than they are supporting the football club. That's the reality. But then they brought in a manager who understands balance. Savva, that's been my favorite word of the whole year. Balance is all we're asking for. A little bit of balance. If Ange was playing a balanced system and we were in the position that we were in, then I'd sit there and say, right, Levy, we've got a manager. He's not sending us out there to die every week, right? He's not giving us suicidal tactics. What are you doing to help? But even with the injuries, Ange is playing in the system that is causing all these injuries. It doesn't make any sense.
Do you know the funny thing, Jay? Do you know what I love about this, right? My mate Matt, I do like Matt. At least he's not as deluded as Chris. Right. Why on earth would Iriola leave Bournemouth, who are close to top 4, to come to us in a relegation battle? Now, let's apply this logic to what Matt said earlier in the show. But Daniel Levy isn't backing Ange with quality players. So I'm going to flip this. Why on earth would quality players leave their clubs to join Tottenham when they're in a relegation battle?
Exactly.
Which one? You can't have it both ways, Matt, because I don't care what anyone says. If Spurs, by the way, get an interim manager for 4 months. Get an interim manager. If Spurs went to Bournemouth in the summer and went, Iriola, sorry, not Bournemouth, we'd go to his agent. We want Iriola at Spurs. He's paid 1 million a year at Bournemouth. We'll give him 7.5 million a year to come and manage Tottenham with our training ground, with our facilities, right? And we think Iriola wouldn't leave. That's crazy. But see what I mean? These people, Mark, on the one hand, Ange needs to be backed with top players. Yeah. But why would a manager join us in a relegation battle? They can't make it work. As my wife says, they can't make two conversations stick.
Exactly.
They can't do it. They can't do it. And the problem is, in life, when you make so many excuses for one thing, you start tripping up over the previous excuse, right? So this Chris guy, all he's hanging all his eggs on is that we can win the Carabao Cup.
What does that matter? Right? Oh, it's a trophy, yes.
Sure, we win the Carabao Cup and finish 15th or 16th. Do you truly believe that players in the summer are going to go, God, I want to go and play for them?
Yeah.
I want to go and play for that tactic, that manager, because they won a League Cup.
Yeah.
You should be winning a League Cup and finishing in the top 5 or 6. We shouldn't be 15th or 16th and then going, but we've won a League Cup. It's utter madness. The excuses for a shit manager. Now, I'll ask you two. I'm only going to go for another 10 minutes, by the way. I'll ask you two. If any other club around us, Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal, Villa, if any of our rival, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If anyone else had this form, we'd look and go, oh my God, they are shit. Like, they are finished.
You'd be doing daily shows about them.
Right.
We all would.
Absolutely. But when it's our manager, we've got fans going, don't worry. Don't worry.
No.
Well, what do you mean, don't worry?
Now, let's put a bit of perspective on here, right? Any manager who comes to our club is never going to get what he needs. That is the owners. That is the owners. We all know that. But when you look at the likes of Martin Yeo, Harry Redknapp, Pochettino, they have succeeded, but succeeded to a degree. To a degree.
Yeah.
They've got us Champions League. We got a Champions League final, for goodness sakes. And this is in spite of Daniel Levy. This is in spite of Daniel Levy, not because of him. It's never because of him. It's in spite of him. And I just want to answer Mike Oxbig at 12:18. So does Harry live near Bournemouth? Yes, he does. I know roughly where he lives. It's a very affluent area of Bournemouth.
I mean, boys, let's just... it's gotten to the point now where I always say it. You don't even... This is what we have to say with Arsenal fans, right? But it's becoming a thing with Tottenham fans. At this point, you just don't argue with them. We'll see you at the end of the season. You know what I mean? When we're sitting there happy that we just survived relegation, right? I want to see where you are when we're in the championship. Because again, Chris, sorry to break it to you, mate. Yeah, and Matt and all of the rest of you mutants, because that's what we call fans like you guys, mutants, right? It's not you that has to goes to the stadium every week. It's not you who views the football club as an escape from the stresses of your daily life, of your everyday, you know what I mean? It's not you who has used Tottenham as almost like therapy to get away from the stresses of your daily life. It's not you. It's fans like myself. And I'm sure the other lads will agree with me, right? So when we're sitting here calling out this crap, yeah, it's because this isn't fair, right? I go to the stadium every week. And I don't want to hear, oh, well, just stop going then. Why is it fair? Why is that fair that I have to now Stop going to a place I've been going to my whole life. Stop going to somewhere that I enjoy my whole entire life. Why do I have to stop doing that now? Because of Daniel Levy, because of Ange Postecoglou, because of fans like you that are enabling failure at our football club, enabling this loser mindset. Loser. Absolute loser. I'm sorry to say it. I don't want to be rude, but you're a loser. That's the reality. You don't want success. The fact that you didn't even understand what Harry Redknapp done for this football club shows me you're a loser. And you're happy with being a mediocre football club. You're happy. Guess what? You may not have supported our club when we were crap, but you're going to support it now, because I'm telling you, for the next 3 seasons, for the foreseeable future, we will not be considered. Cut the big six crap. Cut the big six crap. There's no big six. Yeah, we might be big six in earnings, but we are not a big six club. We are a mid-table team at best, with an average squad and a manager who can't even beat Leicester at home.
Yeah, but by the way, the reason Savva doesn't go to the stadium every week is because that's my form of protest. I had nearly 40 years of going. I've spent thousands traveling up and down the country, European nights away. I've spent God knows how much money on hotels, flights, coaches, trains. So please, when you've supported the club 2 years, don't bring me into this. Please don't. Yeah.
Can I just say, it cost me a fortune just to go to one game, let alone every week.
And no, Matt, I can't get behind the team because it's the team the manager's put together.
Yeah.
I love the club, not the manager. You have to understand that, Matt.
There's two different things.
Yeah.
We will always be here.
All three of us on here love the club. I mean, I supported the club before Levy come in. And
exactly.
I doubt I'll support it after he leaves, because he's never leaving. But you know, I've supported the club for 50 odd years. I've seen good times. I've seen bad times. You know, and this is one of the worst. Just because I'm a Tottenham fan doesn't mean I have to be an Ange fan.
Mate, do you know what I don't understand? And Swanix, big up, dude. I miss going from a social aspect.
Yeah.
I miss going from meeting up with everyone, you know, having the beers before the game and the chat at half time and having some sort of ropey burger, you know, and all that kind of stuff around the ground. And afterwards, some of us would have a drink, and then some would go on, and I miss all that. I don't miss going from the fact of I'm not paying to watch this shit that Levy and Ange are serving up. I'm not going. The tickets to watch this Tottenham team should be about 40 quid, 35 quid. That's how shit we are.
Double that.
No, I know, but it should be. It should be that, is my point. Would I go if Levy left? I would have more. Yes. If Daniel Levy left this football club and a new owner came in, yes, I would. Until that owner pissed me off or whatever, yes, I would. And look, what I just don't understand with any of it, right? Right, Savva, I started following Spurs because Ange, a friend of mine, travelled to Spurs, blah, 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 and Europe, and he's, okay, that's got nothing to do with anything. So save your protest and saying I'm only an Ange fan. Listen, Chris, you're more than welcome to support Spurs like everyone is. But the problem is you've sat here and belittled past managers that fans loved.
Didn't even know some of them.
You've sat here and belittled teams that we all were really... When Harry and Potts were manager and I was going to the stadium on match day, I was well excited. I'd wake up that morning. I'm up. I'm ready. I'm at the cafe. I'm on the train. Do you know what I mean? I'm in the pub. Pint. Who's going to score today? I was putting bets on Spurs most weeks with Harry Redknapp at home for Spurs to score 3 or more goals every game because we played an exciting attacking brand of football without conceding goals. So all of this, please get behind the manager. I've got behind this club for 40 years. This, as Mark said, is the worst I've ever seen it, right? So when new fans like you are saying to me, but if he wins the cup, he's our most successful. Sure, but that's like saying Unai Emery, Jesus, he's not our manager, is he? Who's the other one I'm thinking of? One day Ramos. Yeah, On paper, one day Ramos was our most successful manager for the last 25 years, whatever it is, right? But if you ask any Spurs fan, last 20 years,
And
what
George
team
Graham.
did you like?
And George Graham.
No. Yeah, I know, but George
Yeah.
Graham wasn't under Levy, was he?
No,
George Graham
no,
was
no,
pre-Levy,
no.
right? He's been our most successful manager for the last 25 years, right? As one day Ramos. You ask anybody, right? Don't mention one day's name. Go, what was the best period in the last 25 years? No one says one day Ramos. No one, because you know what? We didn't kick on from winning that cup, right? One day Ramos had us 2 points out of 20 of 8, 16, 2 points out of 24 points from the beginning of the next season. Redknapp, Poch, Yole, these people made us proud to go and watch Tottenham Hotspur. These people made opposition, I don't want to say fear us, but Arsenal weren't getting an easy game against Tottenham in those days.
No.
And you weren't getting an easy game against Tottenham.
Savva, they weren't calling us 3-point lane.
Right.
They weren't.
No, they were, but it stopped.
Do you know what I mean? Coming to our stadium was they'd have to be serious. Everyone knew that going Tottenham away was a game that they're gonna be up for it, no matter what. That stadium used to rock, used to shake the ground. That is the atmosphere that used to be at that stadium, and they priced locals out of going to the ground. Do you know what I'm saying? We've got the highest ticket prices in the league. The highest ticket prices in the league. For what? For what? For what? And Savva, I don't blame you for not wanting to waste your money watching this crap. Do you know what I'm saying? I go just because I can't stop myself from going. Do you know what I mean? I can't physically stop myself from going, unfortunately. But it will get to a point where I just bin it off altogether. Because this club don't love us. And to all you guys at back, and I want to leave you guys with this. The fans, the managers will go, the players will go, the staff will go, owners will go. Well, maybe they won't, but the one thing that will always remain at this football club are us, the fans.
Yeah.
We will always be here. And this is exactly why I don't blindly follow managers and blindly support these players.
Why can't we be on the same page? Because we've got the worst manager in Spurs history, Matt. Why on earth would we all get behind this manager that has won one game in 11 and has 25 defeats from his last 51 games? Matt, you're living in a fantasy. Matt, do you know what? I don't mind you, mate. I can't stand Chris. I think he's an idiot. I don't mind you, mate. But the problem is, at some point, a penny will drop, Matt. And you will realize that when you keep losing, you talk about Spurs, right? Like we're a yo-yo team, like a Norwich, right? You talk about us like we're that. But, give him a bit more time. Ange needs support, to be higher than 15th in the league. These guys don't make sense with their points. Ange needs support the way that any manager needs support. Kenneth, I'll ask Matt, where did you guys say we'll finish at the end of the season, in the summer? Where did you say? Let's see what you guys said where we would finish. I can guarantee you all said we'd be in the top 6.
I said somewhere between 5th and 7th.
I said 7th.
Yeah.
That's 10th.
I got abused for 7th.
Yeah, exactly.
We're now.
We'd snap your hand off for that.
Mate, just to put it in perspective, right? Just to put this in perspective, right? Clubs that we were mocking, right? Have a look at this. Have a look at this league table, right, guys? When you have a look at this, West Ham sacked their manager. They were miles behind us. They're now above us. Crystal Palace hadn't won a game until we turned up at their ground. Crystal Palace are now above us. No. Man United sacked their manager. They're now 5 points above us. We were well above them.
We were mocking them.
Brentford are 7 points above Tottenham Hotspur with an injury list, with hardly any squad players. They are 7th. They are 7 points clear of us. Fulham are 9 points clear of us. They've just lost Mitrovic and Paulinho at the back, right? Brighton. We're all going, Brighton, they'll fade away at some point. They keep selling their best players. Brighton, 10 points ahead of us. Villa, oh, they've lost. They've only got Emery. He's shit. Ange is better. They've sold their best players. They've not had a good summer. 13 ahead of us. Bournemouth, they're missing their 2 strikers. 10 players injured. They're 16 ahead of us. Chelsea, who have they bought? Maresca in his first year. They're 16 ahead of us. Newcastle United, Eddie Howe's not as good as Ange. Who have Newcastle bought? They've not spent. They can't buy players. They're 17 points ahead of Ange Postecoglou. How much more evidence do these people need to see? It is crazy.
Can you remember back in the day when they used to do like the table of the London clubs as well? We're even bottom of that at the moment. We're not even ahead of.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, we're bottom because you can remember that, can't you? When they used to do table of the London clubs, and there was like Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, West Ham, Brentford might have been in there, Fulham. But we're even bottom of that one of them, and we've never been bottom of that one. We've always been above at least one of them. Even in the 90s when we were like average. I say average because we weren't as bad as we are now.
But Kenneth, why have injuries not cost any? Why are we the only team that injuries have cost?
Right. Everyone else has injuries.
Why is it that injuries are only an excuse when we're losing games, but it's not an excuse when we pump Man City at the Etihad? It wasn't an excuse then. No one was sitting there saying, right, Levy, we've just beaten them. Go out there, sign some players so we can kick on. You was all clapping your legs and had your feet in the air, giddy and happy. Do you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, you're an enabler. I don't want to be horrible, so I'm not going to be horrible, but you're an enabler. And as long as fans like you are at this football club, we will continue to go down and down and down. And relegation seems like the best thing possible because half of you fake fans can go off and go and support the teams that you really want to support. Go and support United and Chelsea and City and Liverpool because you're not true Tottenham fans.
But Jay, look at the injuries. Van der Ven and Romero were both rushed back to play in the same game against Chelsea when both hadn't played for a month. That's on the manager. Dragusin's sitting there, 100% fit. He's chucked on the bench. Look at Adogi. Played week in, week out, week in, week out. He could have rotated Reggie. He could have rotated Spence. Chose not to, right? I'm not going to buy it that we're missing Vicario. I'm not saying I don't think these defeats have got anything to do with Vicario missing, right? Bentancur, he's back. He looks absolute toilet, right? When Bentancur comes back, when Richie comes back, I'll ask you this: who are we actually missing that was playing well in the first half of the season, the first half so far, when we were having our worst start, right? For 17, 18, 19 years. This is what makes me laugh. People like Kenneth. We had the worst start to a Premier League season for 20 years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? But these fans, the Chris's, the Kenneths, the Matts, they don't want to take that into account. Why were we so bad when everyone was fit?
And I understand. Listen, I'm not in charge of who's in. That is an asinine concept. I'm sorry. That is the most ridiculous thing, Chris. I'm not saying you employ the manager, but you enable him to stay here by not calling out the fact that we are sat 15th in January and we haven't even gone past our points tally of the first 10 games of last season. That is the reality, Chris. That's what we're calling out. We can talk about Levy for hours and hours and hours, but Levy isn't putting these players out onto the pitch. Levy isn't the one setting us up with a centre-back who isn't a centre-back and Dragusin 10 yards into the opponent's half. We're getting split open week in, week out. That's got nothing to do with Levy. That's got something to do with the fact that we have a manager who thinks that his style of football works. It doesn't work. Wake up. Smell the coffee. Smell the coffee. He's sending these players out there to die week in, week out. And then you want to complain about injuries. Ange is causing these injuries. He's causing these injuries. Let's be real. Stop acting. Why does everyone love to pretend? Stop pretending. I know the truth hurts, right? And I know you'd rather live in a blissful lie than an ugly truth. But the ugly truth is we have a manager who is causing our players to get injured week in, week out. Richarlison, injured again. Injured again. He's been back for 1.5 games and he's injured again.
I think a lot of that is
Again.
on Richie, though. Richie just can't stay fit. But I agree with you, right?
Sure, but
I do agree with you. We all know, all three of us, and a lot in the chat, we all know that the big consistent problem at the club is Daniel Levy. But it does not help. We have a manager who is tactically inept, leaves us wide open and easy to play against, and we are sat 15th in the table. Being 15th in the table is not really on Daniel Levy. Yes, it's got something to do with him not buying the players, and we've only signed up one goalie that we didn't need anyway in a transfer window. Just what are we now? 27th. It's been going on 27 days.
Mark, I'll chuck this at you as well. I'll chuck this at both of you, right? You guys are sitting there saying, "Oh, but but the players, and it's not his fault about the players." Well, when Savva was saying Brennan Johnson's not good enough, look at the amount of abuse that we got for saying these players weren't good enough. Even when they were scoring goals and they were going on their little purple patches, when we were saying these players are not the level, right, and this isn't consistent, we got abuse for it. Mark, I was saying when we were getting these wins last season, I was saying we can celebrate this now, but the reality is this isn't going to last for very long.
No.
We can't keep going 1-0 down and 2-0 down in games and come back in the second half and keep scoring.
The thing is with Brennan,
minute winners.
Yeah, the thing is with Brennan though, he's not even being played in his correct position.
Exactly.
Brennan Johnson is a forward. He's not a winger. It's the same as Son. Son has never been a winger. Brennan Johnson has never been a winger. Brennan Johnson was an inside forward at Forest, which is not a winger. Son is never a winger. Well, he's not that either. But Son has never been a winger. Son has been an inside forward on the other side. You know,
exactly. And the abuse that we got for calling out these players.
Can I just say, more than anything, Matt, do you know what we need more than anything? The players don't need us more than ever. The players need a manager more than ever. The players need a manager to go in there and go, what we're doing, and whether that's Ange or not, go in and go, what we've been doing doesn't work. Guys, dig in. No more inverted fullbacks.
No.
Centre mid, sit in front. Do you know what? If he did that, Matt, fans like me, Mark, and Jay go, okay, we don't rate the manager, but he's trying.
Make us hard to beat.
He has left us get to this point, and then fans like you say, this team that need us more than ever. They need a manager that coaches, right? You're having a pop at us. It's the manager setting them up to fail, right? Now, you know, at the end of the day, if fans are that easily pleased that they think 15 is okay, people like the Matts and the Chris's, they think 15's okay. Cool, let's do that. But let's look at this. Jay, I heard that point as I was walking away. When I said certain players weren't good enough, I'm abused. Then when I say the manager's not good enough, it's not the manager, it's the players. But these people can't make up their mind from 1 week to the next. Is it the manager? Is it the players? Is it the owner? I'll ask this then. These geniuses, these Chris, the Reezes, the Matts, all these people that are now saying, suddenly now it's Daniel Levy. People like me and Mark have been talking about Daniel Levy for 20 years, 15 years, right? Yeah. And now all of a sudden that their leader is failing, it's Daniel Levy. Cool. So let me ask these people a question then. So they're all saying, don't worry, we'll win a League Cup. Now, I don't think we will because I think Liverpool will absolutely destroy us. Let's assume, hypothetically, Mark and Jay, We beat Liverpool and then we beat Newcastle or Arsenal, whoever it is, right? Suddenly, are we still blaming Daniel Levy then? Has Daniel Levy backed him if he's managed to win a cup? Or are we still saying it's Daniel? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that's
Is it Daniel
subjective.
Levy or is it not? It can't
Yeah.
be. Well, in the cups, we could win something. In the league, he's not backed him. What? But he's backed him for the. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
You can't
no.
have the argument one way and not the other.
Because let's face it, if we do actually win a trophy, all of
Mate,
us will
you're a
be
clown.
like,
You aren't happy to debate. You're a clown, mate. You've bottled it about 19 times.
yeah. The link was in the chat, I believe.
The link,
No, but
I'll tell
anyway.
you what, we'll put it in again.
Yeah, we'll put it this way. If we do somehow, miraculously, win the Carabao Cup, for a start, all of us be saying few.
Yeah.
The monkey's off our back, but like finishing, if we finish 15th and still win the Carabao Cup, that's not acceptable. For a club with the alleged stature of us, we should not even be in the bottom half, let alone 15th. The bottom half is a sackable offence for a club of our so-called stature.
But then
Mate,
again,
I agree. If we were sitting 10th right now, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Look, tell you what, let's do this. Let's do this.
If we were
If
10th and we won the Carabao Cup, you'd say, all right.
But if we were 10th, right, Mark? If we were 10th and we were, let's say, look at Fulham. Let's have a look at the table, right? Look at Fulham who are in 10th and then Bournemouth, right? If we were 10th, 4 points off Aston Villa,
Yeah.
and we were in a League Cup final, I'd turn around and go, all right, okay, I can I can stomach it.
Because we can still get Europe from there as well.
Right.
We can still grab sixth.
Sure. Because then it means, all right, have a good end to the season. We can still get Europe through the league.
Yeah.
But we're 15th. We've lost. Have a look at the losses in that loss column. Have a look at those losses. Palace have lost 5 games less than us. Fulham have lost 7 games less than Tottenham this season. Fulham, who just let go of their star player in the summer, right? Everton have lost 4 games less than us. Ipswich have lost the same amount of games as Tottenham Hotspur.
This
Right?
is the thing. This is the
Mental.
thing with teams like Fulham, Brighton, Palace. Teams like Fulham, Brighton, and Palace, they lose their best players every summer because the big teams come in. They're like vultures, and they swoop around a little bit, and they'll come and pluck the best players. If Palace have got an unbelievable player, he plays there for 1 or 2 seasons, he's gone.
I'll come back on if we win a cup. I love that. You won't come on and debate your point now,
Well,
but you will when you win.
that won't be this
what
season.
sort of world do we live in where we go, I adamantly believe this. I'll only come on when it's proved right.
Yeah.
But
again,
I was going to say, if you had real beliefs in your statements that you've made, you'd be on that. You'd be on that.
He doesn't even believe we'll win the cup. That's why he's made that statement. Because the
course.
odds of us winning
I
the
came
cup,
on straight away when I heard the slander about Harry Redknapp.
But that's what
Straight
I mean.
away I was on it.
I was watching the stream and I said, you know what? I'm not having none of this. I'm not having this at all.
Yeah.
I'm not having this. And again, we're not the type of guys. We will sit here and we'll debate.
Yes.
That's the difference between guys like us and guys like you. We're willing to sit. Why does everyone think we want to be right about our club being terrible? Why is that something that people believe? You think I want to be right sitting here saying my manager's crap, we're in a relegation battle, and we might possibly get relegated? Do you think that I want to be right about that? Of course I want to be wrong about that. So I don't want to say, oh, I told you so. I want you to tell me I told you so. But the reality is, everything is in front of us. We can see what is in front of us, and it's not working. There's no way on earth we should be 16 points behind Bournemouth. If you was to go abroad and say Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are 16 points behind Bournemouth, they'd ask you who the hell are Bournemouth? No disrespect. But they'd ask you, who are Bournemouth? Are they this great team? Why are Tottenham so far behind them? Why? They was in the Champions League final not too long ago. Why are they sitting 15th in their league?
Yeah.
That is the reality. That's the
Yeah.
reality. So, Chris,
Great.
mate, come and debate us, because none of us are going to sit up here and hurl abuse at you. While you talk, we'll all sit here and listen.
See,
But again,
now he's changing. Now, see what he does. See what he's done. Savva, you flip-flop when we win. I'm sorry if I don't say it myself. I've got to be one of the most consistent YouTubers with my opinions. Surely. You never see these fake thumbnails. You never see me 1 week Ange in, 1 week Ange out. What's it, Chris? Please, I'm going to block you from my show because you're now lying. You've bottled coming on. You've absolutely bottled coming on. Everyone's seen you're an absolute clown who can't come on, right? I'm sorry. He won't debate me because he doesn't know Tottenham Hotspur.
No.
He is an Ange Postecoglou fanboy that's going, oh, I supported Spurs 6 months before Ange. Get real. He's come on and belittled Harry Redknapp. He's belittled Pochettino.
He didn't even know who he was, did he?
Right. And then he's telling me I'm a flip-flop. Right? I can't do it.
No.
Yeah, I can't do it. Him and Matt are just idiots. I'm at the stage, they're idiots. Guys, I don't really want to go too much longer. I've gone longer than I wanted to today. I am going to, you know. Yeah, Chris, you are, because you're an idiot. You're trolling. Mate, you came on, you came into my channel here and you have belittled Harry Redknapp and Poch, right? You just back a poor manager. Look, you back a poor manager. You're not a real fan. Please go and support Celtic. Please, you deserve that. You're not a fan. I've never flip-flopped on Ange Postecoglou. You know what? When he first came in, I said, you know what? Breath of fresh air. Let's see what this guy's got.
We all said
And then
that.
after the first 10 games, if anyone remembers, after the first 10 games, this happened and I went, nah. This is never going to work.
Do you know that was exactly me as well, Sav? That was exactly me as well. The first 10 games, when he come in and said mate a lot and he was good with the journalists and all that, he was a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Do you remember when Mourinho turned up for us with Chelsea in the Premier League? He was like, he breezed in and no one had seen the likes of him. And when we were top after 10 games, I was like, wow, what's going on? And then the Chelsea game happened with the picture you just showed. And I thought, hang on a minute. This can't continue. And he came out after the game and he said, it don't matter if we only had 7 players, I'd still play like that. And I was like, whoa, hang on a minute.
Do you know what, Mark? It's like Levy and the owners told everyone. Levy and the owners told everyone from the start, we're not buying this football club for footballing reasons. They told us all. The same way Ange told us on that day. He told us, no matter what happens, this is how I'm going to continue to play.
Yeah.
No manager in the history of football goes down to 9 men and puts 8 men on the halfway line. And that is the reason. That was the moment I went, I've backed this manager. I've said this is a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
Nah, no more. I can't do it.
When Enoch first turned up, they said this is an opportunity for us to make money. They mentioned nothing about football. That is the first statement that they said. We see this as an opportunity to make money.
There is not another one that. Okay, here we go, MB, because you're now turning into a troll. Here we go.
Matt, mate.
Hang on.
Why should we wait until the end of the season? Wait until we get relegated? What's wrong with you?
There's no evidence of the high line other than that. Boom. Right? Shocking. Ready? Boom. Shocking. These guys, they don't want the evidence. Look, I mean, again, we've added this to the idiot pile. We've added this guy to the idiot pile saying there's only one picture. MB, the reason people use the Chelsea picture is because this was the first time we all went, what?
Yeah, hang on a minute. What's going on here?
Went, whoa, what is this?
Yeah.
And he's done a high line ever since. He doesn't get it. That
It was probably in existence for the first 10 games as well, but none of us really noticed because we won 8. Because we won 8 of them and drew the other 2.
As I always say, I always get told off. I always say this, right? I always get told off for saying this. They have the club they deserve. They have the club they deserve. No other club would be backing this football manager right now, and these idiot fans are, right? So no longer, Matt, I'm seeing you later. I've timed Matt out. I've timed Chris out. I've got no time for them. We just got silly. I apologize for wasting too much of my time on them, guys. I've got some super chats. Then we're going to go. The neat, StreamYard is going a bit crazy. Come on, StreamYard. Vanita said, that's the thing when I say that the league and FA Cups are for trolls. People bring these things to target guys like Regnat and Poch. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I absolutely hear what you're saying, Vanita. And by the way, we want to win trophies, but winning a League Cup for me doesn't make over the fact that we're in a relegation battle. Those two things shouldn't coexist. I completely agree with you. Big up, mate. A user says, I'm bored. Mate, watch Ange's football. It's really exciting. That will cheer you up. And Rodney Roberts has said, big up Savva panel. Said it before on here. The penny will only drop when we drop into the bottom 3. And even then, Sun still won't get it. Sad times. Rodney, love you, dude. Thank you so much. Completely agree with you, mate. Unfortunately, there's too many that don't get it. Right? There's too many that don't get it. The high line is a massive problem. The high line is a massive problem because even if you don't play inverted fullbacks, we're so high up the pitch for every attack. I agree with you if you play a specialised DM, but Swanix, the high line is the problem because he doesn't play those, right? So it's kind of, Kenneth, not if we win. If we win this Carabao Cup, it doesn't make me want to keep Ange. I know it will buy him time, but it doesn't make me want to keep Ange.
If it's the FA Cup, the FA Cup to me is a lot bigger.
Of course. Win the FA Cup or the Europa League. But for me, the last thing I'll say, guys, for me, there is still chances in cups, but not with this manager. I would get a new manager in now that breathes some fresh ideas, some fresh energies into this squad as we're about to play Liverpool and Villa back-to-back in 2 competitions. I would get a new manager in that goes, right, guys, come on, get out there, give these fans their money worth. Don't play the high line. That's gone. That's the old manager. We're going to do this. I truly believe then I might go, you know what? Well, why can't we beat or draw with Liverpool in a one-off game?
Yeah.
But with this manager, I just don't see how we're, even if we get through the semi, I don't see that we're going to win a final against a well-organised Arsenal or a well-organised Newcastle United.
I want to see a manager come in that's going to make us tough to beat.
I agree.
Tough to beat.
Yeah, I agree. Look, guys, thank you so much. I mean, I only wanted to do an hour and a half. Here we are. I'm blaming Jay and Mark for that. 3 hours later. Big up to you guys. Please go over and subscribe to the Hotspur Cave and to the 2 Mark Show. Please get over there. Look, I'm so sorry, guys. You know my style of YouTubing. I bring up comments. I try and get people involved in the show. Unfortunately, some are cowards. They talk a lot in the chat, don't want to come on because they know that their points are absolutely terrible. Big up to everybody. Much love. Take care. We'll be back tonight, 6 p.m. for the collective, where all the fans from Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, etc. are going to ruin me, and rightly so. Take care.
I'd cancel that show. I honestly would cancel that show.
No, mate,
just so you don't feel very well, what's that?
No, mate, you've got to take the rough with
the yeah.
By the way, Miss Bunny, the people that I call out, I always say to them, come on. I always give them the opportunity, and then they always flake. Guys, girls, Ange out, Levy out, Enoch out. But as always, come on, you Spurs.